Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to KUMBTV's Eyes Up Mother Brown. We are here live this afternoon at a normal time, a proper time for a football match, 3 o'clock. All right, it might be a Sunday, not a Saturday, but you know we'll take what we can get in these times. We are running very, very late. My fault again entirely. A little bit of technological issues as well for one or two of us, but we're here now, as I'm sure you're all thoroughly delighted. Welcome to everybody joining us on the stream. We are going to get underway straight away. We're going to go straight over to Gnome, who is going to give us the teams. Gnome, over to you, buddy. And Gnome's frozen again. We've been having one or two difficulties while Gnome's unfreezing. Hopefully,
I'm going to
I should, of course. Oh, he's back.
Can you hear me?
We can now. You froze momentarily, but over to you now.
It may be my broadband. I may have to go out and come back in again at some stage, but
righto.
Let's go through the teams while I can. Two changes for us. Noble and Johnson dropped to the bench, and they're replaced by Lingard, who was obviously sort of league-tied last week, and Ben Rama starts this week. So we start as follows. Fabianski, Soufal, Dawson, Diop, Cresswell, Souček, Rice, Bowen, Lingard, Benrahma, and Antonio. On the bench, two more keepers on the bench as usual. We have Balbuena, Lanzini, Alves, Noble, Fredericks, Martin, Johnson, Trott, and Odubeko. For the visitors, they line up as follows. Leno, Chambers, Louis, Murray, Tierney, Partey, Xhaka, Saka, Odegaard, Aubameyang, and Lacazette. Referee today is Jonathan Moss. Hope that all got through the ether.
Well, you're still here, so that's good. Yeah, we got to see. Any surprises in there? No, I mean, I guess Benrahma starting not particularly surprising given the furore that followed Noble's inclusion last week, and you know, the former Brentford man's exclusion.
Yeah, just before we came on air, they had an interview there with David Moyes, who said that Benrahma looked sharp in the last game and he's been doing well in training. So, yeah, I don't suppose there's any real surprises there. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how I thought they were going to line up this week, I'll be honest. Fredericks is fit enough to return to the bench. I don't think he was on the bench against Man United, was he? He's had that groin issue for a while. So so good to see him back. The other injuries are all getting that little bit closer now, with Ogbonna and Masuaku and Yarmolenko, the three major players there, all beginning to get a little bit closer. We've got an international break coming up, obviously. So I'd be interested to see the bench for the next match.
Yeah, of course. Arthur Masuaku and Andrei Yarmolenko both featured for the under-23s on Friday night against Leicester. Both played 70 minutes, came through unscathed. So that's very good news. I think Ogbonna's going to be a few weeks yet, though, by the sounds of things.
Yeah, he's behind the other two, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. But good news. It'd be good to see Masuaku back, and will give us a bit of Moyes a bit of an opportunity to change things around at the back, because we've been very, very limited so far. I haven't even said hello to everyone yet. My apologies, gentlemen. I'm joined by the regular team of Gnome, of course, who you've already met, the Pink Palermo, and Rio this afternoon. Rio, how are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. Not too bad. It's been a bit of a tricky few days.
We should start. Sorry, mate. Sorry, I missed that.
No, so it's been a bit of a tricky few days, but this is going to hopefully lighten the moods. I've got my requisite beer. I've got my requisite music shirt on. I hate Arsenal. Let's have this. Come on.
Yeah, well, I was going to say I wouldn't rely on it, but fingers crossed anyway. You never know. Let's get the important things out of the way first. Rio, what's the T-shirt today?
Ginger Wild Art, lead singer of my favourite band ever. He's Britain's best ever singer-songwriter, in my opinion. He does something that will appeal to everybody. And this is kind of rather fetching players that I picked up in his acoustic tour a couple of years back.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Has he got any new albums coming out? Any new material?
He releases about 2 or 3 albums a year. He's a workaholic. If he doesn't work, he ends up going a little bit mental. But yeah, anyone who's not into the kind of heavier stuff, listen to the Pessimist Companion and Ghost in the Tanglewood. Excellent rock kind of folk music that will appeal to everybody. Just brilliant songwriting. It's brilliant songwriting.
Oh, are we on sort of like a Frank Turnerish sort of view? I get the feeling it's something along those lines, maybe. I've not really listened to it.
Yeah, well, no, it's even kind of more mellow and more like atmospheric, and it's just better quality. Frank Turner's a massive fan of Wild Arts, and they've collaborated a couple of times. So if you like Frank Turner, you'd love Ginger Wild Arts solo stuff.
There you go. Can't beat a bit of Frank Turner, so I know what I'll be tuning into over the next few weeks anyway. Mr. Palermo, good afternoon, sir. How are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I thought Rio set it up nicely there with the reference to the Pessimist Companion. I thought you'll never have a better sort of segue that you can put things together than that. But, you know, and I'm the
I do like a theme.
This,
I do like a theme.
And the pessimist this afternoon is someone who's tuning in, who's an Arsenal fan, who's actually watching this afternoon, Whispering Ray, out in the floodplains of Doddinghurst. So he's tuning in because obviously he's a lad that, you know, born in Wanstead, grew up in Dagenham, picked the wrong team, didn't he? Picked the wrong team, and he's regretted it ever since. He's desperate to be a West Ham United supporter, you know, because of course when we go off to watch the famous West Ham play, we leave him on his own in the pub, crying in his beer. So Ray, good afternoon, mate, and it's never too late to see the light. Come and join us. Come and join us. There's always plenty of room at the London Stadium. You know, that's one of the things for sure.
That's certainly true. Welcome, Whispering Ray from Doddinghurst, from all of us here on the KUMB team. And the Dagenham boy, where did it all go wrong way? How did you end up supporting a team that won all those trophies and not West Ham? I don't know. Terrible. Pinky, West Ham's team today. Let's turn to attention to the football because we've got about 4 or 5 minutes to go until kick-off. Now, any surprises for you in there? Are you quite happy to see Ben Rama starting today?
Am I happy? If we had a full-strength squad available, probably not, no. But the reality is the manager's going yet again with what he's got and how many real choices does he have. So if that's damning Ben Rama with a touch of faint praise, so be it. Yeah. I think if David Moyes had better choices, fairly obviously he'd be putting them in. Having said that, you know, an awful lot of our supporters last week were unhappy that he didn't start the game.
Yeah, they were.
So, you know, if Ben Rama has been doing it in training this week, well, today's the day he's got to prove that it isn't just talk, it isn't just flicks and tricks and showboating. Get a brace today, Benny. Yeah, and shut me up, shut a few other people up, and contribute to the team. But the rest of it, you know, flat back four, yeah, okay. They've got a decent shield, obviously, with Souček and Rice in front of them.
Yep.
You know, it's the bench again that causes me, you know, the worry. You know, the game changer. Where is it? Where's your game changer from the bench? Not too many options, and I'm afraid, you know, if our chairman is watching this, and you know, I've said it before, I've said it again. He needs to find the money because again, we're going to go into the summer, and I've got a terrible, terrible feeling that David Moyes is going to get given the hard luck story and told, well, you know, we spent this summer's budget in January on Ben Rama.
Yeah.
And so for me, you know, manager's gone with what he's got. Let's hope it's enough.
Okay. The players are on your stream. I'm sure they would have left the tunnel by now, but Declan Rice leading the boys out this afternoon to a sea of bubbles. At the London Olympic Stadium this afternoon. West Ham looking to gain revenge for that narrow defeat at Highbury. Highbury? What year is it, man? Highbury? The Emirates earlier in the season. Rather unjustly beaten, weren't we, Gnome, that day?
Yeah, we've actually, the last few games, we've kind of not played badly and come away with sod all. So whilst I normally want us to play well and win, I think at the end of the day, if we play awful and sneak a 1-0, I think we owe one of those, don't we? Yeah, I mean, I think earlier on in the season when I'm trying to think, when we came out of that game, we were thinking, well, of the two teams, where the we're the one who are feeling a little bit better about ourselves.
Yeah.
And we'd still lost. And that was before we'd actually put any sort of run together as well. It was quite early on in the season, wasn't it? If I recall correctly.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to this one. This is we get back a little bit back on track after second half against Leeds wasn't, we weren't particularly at the races. Sort of needs must at Man United last week with the sort of weakened team. I think we should. Looking forward to this one. Yeah, you're going to ask me for a prediction now, or
I am going to ask you for a prediction. Yeah. That's my next question, sir.
I'll go 2-1 to us.
2-1 to the Hammers. Rio, what do you reckon this afternoon?
I'm going more optimistic than I've ever been for a while, only because I hate Arsenal so much and they drive me absolutely mental. But we're going to win 4-0.
Oh, I like it. I like it. That's almost the Pink Palermo-esque prediction, that one. What can Pinky beat it? This is the question. 4-0, says Rio. Pinky.
No, not today. I'm drifting into Gordon's territory. 2-1 West Ham. We're due a decent performance. Yeah. Arsenal are a bit hit and miss. And if we have genuine aspirations to say that we should be pushing somewhere near that top four, you've got to start putting away the mid-table clubs. And this season, Arsenal are a mid-table club. So, today we'll find out if we're any good, really. So, I'm going 2-1.
All right, 3 wins predicted by the team here so far. That seems a little bit too optimistic for me, so I'm going to go for a draw. I think there'll be goals. I'm sure there'll be goals. Both defences seem to be capable of shipping a goal here or there, although we, of course, have been limiting the opposition to very few shots on target in recent matches, haven't we? But I still see a few goals today. I'm going to go for a 2-2. So that's Gnome 2-1, Pinky 2-1, Rio 4-0 to the Hammers. I'm going to go for a 2-2. So expect West Ham to end up getting beaten, given that none of us have predicted it this afternoon. Were we underway yet, gentlemen, at the stadium?
Yeah, 17, 18 seconds in I've got.
Good Lord, I'm still taking the knee here metaphorically, and so I'm a long way behind you. West Ham, I should point out, of course, can go fourth in the Premier League with a win here this afternoon. They would have to beat Arsenal about 9-0, or by a margin of 9 to do so, but not entirely impossible. It's been done before. We are underway anyway. West Ham, as we look at our screen this afternoon, TV broadcast being brought to you by Sky Sports. Commentary, of course, by us lot here. Arsenal kicking from right to left, West Ham from left to right. Arsenal in possession so far. That Arsenal team, no, many surprises in that one. We haven't really covered that yet.
To be honest, I'm not sure what they lined up last time. So okay. I'm just watching. Cross comes in from the left, and there's a slight deflection there. Corner to West Ham. I'll be honest.
Stick with it.
Not entirely sure what they lined up last time. Aubameyang missed last week in the league. He was back for the Olympiacos game, although there were comments that he didn't look particularly interested. But that was something to do with his timekeeping, not being on time. So, but we've forced the corner anyway, a minute and a half in, so you'll stay with me for that. Cresswell, as ever, is spotting the ball up on the quadrant, and crowded penalty area with Diop, Souček, Antonio there, and Dawson. Corner comes across, and it's headed out to the edge of the box, cleared as far as Bowen, that's a fine ball from Bowen out to Cresswell. It keeps the ball live. Again, ball played down the line towards Cresswell. Cresswell, that's far too deep across. In fact, it's gone behind for a goal kick. So excitement over for the time being. But West Ham looking good at keeping it live there. The corner's partially cleared, and but Cresswell's course was not up to his usual standards, shall we say?
Okay, good stuff. A little stat that just flashed up on the screen there. Aaron Cresswell, 7 assists this season, leading stat for a defender in the Premier League. Rio, Arsenal's team, as Pinky was saying, they've not exactly shone this season, but one player who seems to be doing reasonably well so far is Martin Odegaard, the youngster on loan from Real. What do you know about him, and should we be concerned this afternoon?
He is their key man today. he comes with a really, really high reputation.
Yeah.
He's kind of sat on the fringes of the Real side, got loaned out on numerous occasions, never cemented a place there. But since he's been introduced into this Arsenal side, he's kind of reinvigorated them. They look a much better side with him in. He's really their danger man, incredibly talented young man. There was a rumour once upon a time that we was linked with him. But, you know, these things don't always pan out when it comes to West Ham, does it? But, yeah, we all know what Arsenal are like. You know, they've got a wealth of attacking talent. Odegaard's a quality player. Aubameyang can absolutely destroy teams at times. But they've got such a fragile back line. And as I said, we've got so foul shoots. Oh!
Well,
Close.
not really.
Sounded close.
I think.
Well, it was.
My phrase, I live near within
We
that.
got in a good position. Good work between them. Soufal was at the edge of the box, and loose ball came to him, but he didn't get over it. And the legendary row Z territory, or row B, as it is at the Olympic.
First
probably landed at the bus stop he was getting the bus at earlier in the week.
Yeah. Yes.
Soufal with the first shot of the day, outside of the right boot. Unfortunately, not getting a very good connection, and it's high and wide. And traditionally, I guess that would have been into row Z, but at the London Olympic Stadium, that probably didn't even make row A. Hey, first joke of the day about the stadium. First effort of the day. Soufal, a defender. No.
Bright start from West Ham, actually. We just forced the corner on the right-hand side, but we're bringing the game to them. I mean, I know it's 4 minutes, just come at 5 minutes long game. Game's only 5 minutes gone, really, but we've actually been taking it to them anyway in those 5 minutes, so which is good to see.
Yeah. Good start. I mean, I suppose a word of caution. We started extremely well, Pinky, didn't we, against Manchester United for the first 5 or 10 minutes, and I don't think we created a shot in the whole game. But good stuff anyway. A promising start from the Hounds here. Yeah,
I mean, last week's done. You know, in terms of what we're doing here today, Arsenal just forcing us back at the minute. You know, so the curse of the commentator has once again applied. But you know, I'm trying to think the last time Arsenal actually touched the ball. Actually, it's a couple of minutes since they've been in possession. So, yeah, we are utterly in control of things after a whole 5 minutes 54 seconds. But I'd rather be in that position than watching Arsenal spray passes around. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, pretty good from West Ham so far.
Yeah, I mean, Gnome, I know it's early days yet, but this isn't the traditional path that this fixture usually takes, is it? It's, you know, we're quite used to seeing Arsenal in full possession of the ball, but it's not been the case. I mean, Pinky said it, it's only 6 or 7 minutes in, but, you know, West Ham looking like the team that want to do something.
Yeah.
Which wasn't the case last week against Manchester United, of course.
Yeah, well, we got Soufal, gets in a good position on the right. Crosses cut out. Souček can't make anything of it, but it's come back to Dawson, and again we go again. We're just beginning to push that little bit of pressure on, and ball with Antonio now.
I mean, tactically, we've got Souček pushed very far forward at the minute. Yeah. Rice sitting deep in the classic defensive midfield position there. So we've clearly pushed Souček up. So any suggestion that we're sitting back and not trying to make things happen, wholly wrong today. This is very much on the front foot, trying to get a goal mode. Very, very positive indeed from West Ham at the minute.
Yeah, I think added to that, I think I've seen Soufal spend more time in the opposition half already today than he did in the entire match at Old Trafford last week. But yeah, I mean, definitely, Rio, it's fair to say that Mark Noble, you know, the inclusion of Noble last week sort of hampered Souček and Rice, didn't it, to a fair degree? You know, that sort of creativity we're used to wasn't really there. It's, you know, it doesn't really work, that midfield trio, does it? Or at least it hasn't so far. No,
definitely not. And it does tend to slow our link-up play down as well, which is like it really noticeable last week. And already these opening 7 minutes, we've been so much on the front foot, look really comfortable, we look full of intent. Both full back, good ball. And just missed by Souček. Yeah, we're showing so much more attacking intent. Both our fullbacks are pushing up really high. And we look a dangerous side already. It's really promising start from West Ham. Just to also point out, today's Aaron Cresswell's 217th appearance for West Ham. Makes him the second highest ever appearance making in the Premier League, obviously after skipper Mark Noble.
Is that eclipsing? Must be Carlton Cole, surely.
Yeah, I would have thought so. I didn't actually pick up the rest of it. Again! It's the third time we've got a cross into the ball, which has been really good. Souček, the header was just a little bit, the ball was just a little bit too high for him. The header went all right, but we're causing problems here. We're looking good. We're looking sharp.
Yes, West Ham very much on the front foot so far. Gnome, Souček a bit unlucky there.
Yeah, cross a little bit, as Rio perfectly described it. Cross just a little bit too high. And I mean, they're just showing the one earlier. Another one was too high, but he couldn't get an angle for the header. A lot going down our left-hand side, and with Benrahma and Cresswell. Lingard's getting out there as well. Benrahma and Lingard sometimes swapping between each other. So Souček somewhat harshly penalised there for a free kick out on the Arsenal left. Yeah, there's a lot coming down that left-hand side. And if we can keep this momentum going, then, you know, there's the stat for you. Passes in the final third at the moment. West Ham 33, Arsenal 0. I'd settle for that as a goal result, wouldn't you?
Well, it would certainly be enough to take us back to fourth in the Premier League. That's for sure. If we could maintain. Was it Bonaccord? I think set the record. Was it 36-0? I think many years ago.
Bonaccord were on the losing end of that. It was Arbroath beat them.
Yeah, British record.
Yeah.
There was a game more recently in the Far East somewhere, which I think was nearly double that, but. We'll have to check, but certainly a British record. That one.
There was something. Now I'm trying to remember. There were a couple of these things. There was one, I think, the old Yugoslavian third division, where two teams were tight neck and neck, and they both won something like 40-something 0, with the collusion of their opponents.
That was it.
Not surprisingly, the results got annulled.
West Ham's record, of course, winning the top flight 8-0 against Sunderland 1968. Jeff Hurst bagging 6 of the 8 goals. No one was there. Jeff Hurst, of course, famously punching one of them in and nearly got punched himself by the Sunderland players after the game when he freely admitted what he had done. But yeah, 6 goals, a rare feat indeed, a double hat-trick from Jeff Hurst, 1968. Good game, was it known that one?
October 68. And other scorers that day, two other scorers, Bobby Moore and Trevor Brooking.
Yeah. Not bad.
Arsenal
not a bad
now,
team.
for the first time, are beginning to push into our half. West Ham looking quite compact in defence. Then Arsenal just sort of, but yeah, some good defending there from West Ham. Ball back on the halfway line as Arsenal have to come again. Just got to be a little bit careful, as I say. I mean, it'd be typical West Ham, wouldn't it? We've been the dominant side all game so far, and then we get a sucker punch somewhere along the line. And cross comes in from their left. Sufo not quite being able to block that out. And that was Tierney with the crossing. There's a player that has impressed me a little bit in the last few weeks for Arsenal, Tierney. Anyway, Arsenal have lost possession, and Lingard now holds it up on the left-hand side. Cresswell plays a long diagonal ball into Bowen. Now, Bowen, whether or not he's offside or not, we'll find out. Bowen goes down in the box. Throws his hands up in anguish, nothing given. And presumably he wasn't offside. Difficult to tell from the angles that we've got there, because Cresswell played the ball and suddenly you see Bowen in acres of space. But like to see that again for 2 reasons. Obviously, was it offside, and was it? Well, we'll probably get the opportunity now as a free kick to West Ham. Bowen's looking very aggrieved. Let's have a look.
Yeah, he looked yards offside initially, didn't he?
No, he's definitely on. He's definitely on. He's a good yard on when the ball's played. It's just he goes into the gap. Let's have a look. takes it on his chest. There's a hand on his arm, but I think a penalty would have been harsh under circumstances. Yeah. But just shows how square Arsenal were playing at the back, because Bowen's run. Well, we'll come back to that. Lingard looked to be going through there, but a good tackle broke that one up. Yeah, Bowen's run was diagonal, and it was perfectly timed. And he came from a good yard or two onside. So that's something to keep an eye on then, if Arsenal are going to play that square.
I've got to say, I'm pretty disappointed with Jarrod Bowen, the way he went down there. There's no way that was a penalty in a million years. And he's clearly thrown himself to the floor. And, I know some teams are quite happy with that. Some supporters, probably even West Ham fans, will be quite happy. But
not me.
I guess I'm a bit old-fashioned, but I don't like seeing West Ham
don't
players
want to see that.
No. So get up,
no
Jarrod.
Glory,
come on, lad.
No glory winning that way. No glory at all. But clearly, I think we're seeing Chambers as the weak link in the Arsenal team at the back. I think that's why an awful lot of the attacks are coming down that flank. And it's at what point they decide to shore that up somewhat.
Yeah. Yes, 14, just over 14 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Arsenal 0. Stats for you very quickly. West Ham possession has actually slipped down quite a bit in the last 3 or 4 minutes. It was as high as 74% for West Ham after about 10 minutes. It's now 61% to 39% in West Ham's favour. West Ham 3 shots and none on target. Arsenal yet to have a shot on goal. So the stats pretty much affirming what we've been saying so far. It's all been West Ham so far. And if anyone's likely to open the scoring, Rio, it's the Hammers so far, but nothing doing.
Yes, come on!
Yes!
I speak too soon. Tell us about it.
What a goal. What a goal. Brilliant work by Antonio down the left-hand flank. Yeah. Did some really good work. Yeah. Attacked Louise, sides throw Bob. Actually then just pulled the ball back to Jesse Lingard on the edge of the box, who absolutely slammed it into the top of the Arsenal net. You don't save those. He's buried it. He's absolutely buried it. Great goal. 1-0 West Ham.
No more than we deserved, Gnome, you'd say.
Definitely. I'm just watching it again. Fine work from Antonio right from the start. Ball played up to him, back to goal. Plays a nice 1-2 with Benrahma. Plays it back to Lingard, who takes a little touch, which kind of tees it up for him. Just looking at it now. And it sits up nicely, hits it just off the ground there. And I've been waiting to say this. Poor Lino had no chance. One for the musos there.
Yes. First, yeah. I'm just seeing the goal again. I just watch it. It's an absolutely superb finish, Rio, from Lingard. I mean, as a striker, you love those, don't you? When they sit up for you like that, and it's sort of like the old half volley. But what a finish that is! Absolutely no chance for as Gnome says, poor Lino on that occasion.
It was absolutely superb. Great work by Antonio, as you said, teed up exquisitely by Lingard.
Oh,
get in!
Oh,
get in
the
there!
boxing match. Let's stop it right now.
Come on.
2-0 West Ham. It's embarrassing for the Arsenal. They're all over the place. Absolutely getting done here.
Well, gentlemen, I've just seen West Ham's first goal, and we have a second, I'm presuming.
Yeah, very quick free kick. Basically, Antonio fouled. Lingard just jogged up, saw Bowen sort of in space on the right, and basically that's poor from Lino there. Bowen's just put it in at the near post. It kind of went between near post and Lino, and 2-0. Just the advantage of being allowed to take a quick free kick, and it's not good goalkeeping, whichever way you look at it. Near post, and it went through him. Are we complaining? No.
It's great stuff. I mean, it's really good thinking from Lingard. But I'm a bit surprised, Rio, that the referees allowed that one, aren't you? I mean, it looked like he was sort of talking to the Arsenal players, and just let play. It almost echoes in a way of that one against between Brighton and was it West Brom the other day?
Yeah. Go.
I'm not complaining at all. I think John Moss I've always thought he was one of the better referees, and now I confirmed it. He's absolutely superb now. I'm even going to forgive Jesse Lingard for doing that JL thing with his hands, because not only was it a great strike for the first, but it's quick thinking for the second. I'll take back everything I've ever said against the man. Please just hold out, West Ham. Please just hold out. Get the fourth. Let me feel comfortable.
Well, I've got to say, gentlemen, after 18 minutes, where our predictions are all still on course. Gnome and Pinky, of course, going for a 2-1 win. Rio going for a 4-0 win, and I went for a 2-2. So we're all still in with the shout. But West Ham, what an incredible start, Pinky. We were here saying West Ham had started strongly. Unfortunately, hadn't made the breakthrough. 2 goals in little over 90 seconds. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be fair, we've been excellent. I mean, this isn't just a case of Arsenal falling apart. We've been very good indeed. We've been positive from the off. The movement amongst our in the front half of our team has been superb. The back of our team has looked absolutely solid, and we've created those chances by either quick movement, quick thinking, good finishing. Call it what you will. We've done what needed to be done, and how often have we seen other teams do it against us over the years? Normally round about now, 2 of our players are still coming out from the dressing room, and we're a couple of goals down 20 minutes in. So, yeah, brilliant start by West Ham. But Arsenal now on the attack, down the left-hand side. Cross goes in. No, it doesn't. Cut out by Soufal. So, yeah, very, very good indeed by ourselves. And dare I say it, Mikel Arteta, probably under a little bit of pressure now, because he'll need something in the Europa League, because they're not finishing the top 5 in the Premier League this year. That is for certain.
20 minutes gone. West Ham United 2, Arsenal 0. Goals coming from Jesse Lingard in the 15th minute. Jared Bowen scoring a second a little more than 90 seconds later with Lingard, the assist. Lingard now with 5 goals in 7 appearances for the Hammers. Great stuff. Couple of assists, 1 a penalty. What an acquisition he's turning out to be. And gentlemen, we were joking about the 9-0, but you never know. You never know. 2 goals in the first 20 minutes. Who knows?
That was a joke, was it? Okay. Just to get where we are at the moment, obviously Arsenal are a bit shell-shocked, and they've been trying to put a bit of pressure on. But West Ham have been, again, defending compact. Bit of possession for Arsenal at the moment, but they've just put the ball out for a throw-in. So, again, good pressing by West Ham. One thing I'd say is, and somebody may correct me if I'm wrong here, but has Fabianski touched the ball yet?
I have not seen him touch the ball. I don't believe so.
Yeah, he may have. It may have been 1 kick out, I suppose, but I'm struggling to think of it. Long ball now played forward to Antonio, who wins after the header, and we've got Soufal now plays the ball in, and Arsenal clear the cross, and I think that's gone out for an Arsenal throw. But even before those goals went in, there were a couple of. Souček had a couple of headers there, which he didn't quite get on the end of properly. So nobody can say it wasn't coming or wasn't deserved. As Soufal gives away a free kick, and I keep meaning to say this, but Soufal reminds me of a former playing colleague of mine when I played for the civil service years ago, and similar sort of player, although he used to play sort of more centre midfield, sort of uncompromising, but damn fine player. And his name was he wasn't the Chelsea player of similar name, but his name was Mickey Troy. So Mickey, if you happen to be watching anywhere, here's to you, mate. He was a damn good player. And
surely he had the nickname Helen. And tell me it wasn't.
No. He was a lovely bloke as well, and a fellow Hammer. So there you go. So
good lad. Good lad.
Attack now. Ball played into the middle, and there's a shot which loops off, and that may be Fabianski's first touch, possibly not. Somebody will remind me if he had a kick earlier on, but really there was a shot from the edge of the box which came. I'm not sure who that was, but it might have been Odegaard. But it was really a shock because he had no other options on. It took a little deflection, looped up, and it was an easy catch for Fabianski.
We are midway through the first half. West Ham United leading Arsenal by 2-0. Those 2 goals coming in the space of 98 seconds, it was to be precise, between Lingard's effort hitting the net and Bowen's. Fantastic stuff from the Hammers. Jesse Lingard scoring his 5th goal of his career against Arsenal in all competitions, the most he has netted against any opponent in his professional career. So Lingard, obviously a fan of playing against the Gunners, who are absolutely shell-shocked from this incredibly enthusiastic West Ham start that sees David Moyes' side 2-0 up against Arsenal. I can think of one person, Gnome, who's going to be very happy about this scoreline so far.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be watching the game.
I don't know if he'd have access to it. Knowing him, he'll try heaven and earth, but I don't suppose he's watching this. But good luck to you, Chaz, mate. You may... Well, I'll come back to Chaz in a second as Arsenal were by a free kick on the right-hand side. Big Chaz, good mate of ours. He's had a major operation on Friday. Swap message with him yesterday. He's in good spirits. I hope to maybe have a chat with him later on this evening. But there is a Just Giving page up, which if you want to look at the forum, there's a thread there. Very thanks to everybody who's contributed. I think I haven't looked at it for a while, but we've got a fair part of £3,000 in there at the moment. Yeah, we've gone over 3 now. So anyway, Arsenal free kick. We'll get back to Chaz. Looped in, and that's Fabianski drops it, but recovers. Takes a long kick now with like Lingard looking threatening there, but yeah, a little bit iffy there from Fab. Dropped it with nobody around him, but thankfully dropped it to his own feet and was able to gather.
He just did it to make Lino feel a bit better. Yeah, that's the goalkeepers union, you know.
Yeah. We are 25 minutes into this one. West Ham in complete command at the moment, but of course a long way to go. And a bit of a comedy moment from Lucas Fabianski there. Just to point out, Gnome talking about the Romford thread on the KUMB.com forum. If you go to page 17 of that particular thread, you will see a video message from a certain Declan Rice.
Lovely
Romford, all the best following his recent operation. Absolute class from the skipper there, and it's just one example of why everyone holds him in such high esteem. Very lovely thing to do from Rice.
But it doesn't find a hammer, and Arsenal will bring away. Sorry, just as we had another cross go in there, but not much game of it.
While that's happening, I should point out that we are looking at 2 forums this afternoon. Of course, the KUMB.com forum match thread for us Hammers, and for the opposition this afternoon, Pinky's keeping a close eye on Arsenal Mania. Pinky, I bet that makes for some ghoulish reading right now.
Well, you know, they were full of beans before kickoff. You know, their online polls suggesting 69% of them thought they'd beat us today. 18% went for the draw, and just over 12% for defeat. So I'm afraid, we're seeing lovely comments like it's like we've got 9 men, they've got 12.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. A half-fit Saka on the pitch while Nelly and Pepe rot on the bench. Need a right back in the summer more than we realise. I think I touched on the situation about Chambers a bit earlier. They're saying, are they allowed to score so quickly? Yes, we are, Arsenal fans. And I think it's fair to say they're a little bit disillusioned this afternoon with what they're looking at.
Antonio had some good work there. He went on a run from deep that was found with a long ball, got into the box. Got a little bit crowded out, still managed to get a shot in, but it was blocked. But again, a good work from Antonio there. It's they're not tracking when he runs from the deep, and so that's a little bit lucky. Lingard just fails to control the ball, and Arsenal bring it away. But Yeah, when Antonio's running from slightly deeper, Arsenal are not picking him up. Watch out for that.
Couple of comments from Sammy, 1887. Arteta honestly needs a hammering. All these 1-0 or 2-1 losses don't do justice to him. Needs a proper beating. I mean, I am actually on an Arsenal supporters forum here. And then the next post along from, Tin Fish, who apparently is a well-known member, says Arteta needs to leave. Yes, loyal supporters over there in the Grove.
They're getting those in early. The traditional call for the manager's sacking when West Ham are the victors in a fixture, of course. Pinky, just quickly, any reference to West Ham's second goal? Any thoughts from Arsenal fans that John Moss was a little unfair in allowing the Hammers to take it so quickly?
Not that I can find yet, but I'll do a bit of a deeper search if you give me a minute or so.
All right, no worries. While we're doing that, Gnome looks like he's waiting to come in there, Gnome.
Yeah, corner to Arsenal. Chambers had a cross block. They've taken it short. Still out on their right. Cross comes in. It's bobbling around a little bit in there. And West Ham sort of some good defending going on here. It's been worked all the way back now outside the box. Tierney puts a cross in. And that's Bowen heading. Soufal rather. And West Ham bring it away. Not very convincingly. Arsenal lose it, but it's right back on the halfway line now. So Arsenal not making the most of the corner there. Bring it back to us now on the right hand side, and a combination of Souček and Cresswell, and the attack breaks down. Cresswell brings it down the line now. And a throw into West Ham. So, not so much a scare as a minor sort of slight palpitation, maybe.
We've got a belter from a Vengasaurus. Yeah. Never in my lifetime have we been inferior to West Ham like this. So we know you've been born after 1980, Vengasaurus. We know that.
Rio after the Premier League.
Yeah. Keeping an eye on the West Ham forum for us this afternoon is Rio. Rio, I'd imagine there's a fair few happy hammers like us out there this afternoon so far. What's the verdict so far on KUMB?
Yeah, everyone is understandably absolutely ecstatic. There's a couple of really nice comments. Cross Hammers has put, wow, I've never seen us so confident and ruthless. It just doesn't feel right. I'm really unnerved, to be honest. Bubbles Fortunas, but the pure casualness of Lingard walking up to that free kick is absolutely amazing. Wolf 359 is trying to temper the optimism. Is anyone else more nervous at 2-0 than 0-0? It's the hope that kills you. Calm down, mate. Calm down. Derby Hammer. I don't want to get carried away. That's probably the best 20 minutes of a match I think I've seen us play. Even taking into account our complete lack of movement and on throw-ins, which always does my nutting. But yeah, Derby, I've got to admit, mate, it's been an incredibly positive 20 minutes, and it's got to be up there with the best that I've seen for quite some time. Also, just to point out, I've got a couple of things, which is, we mentioned earlier the top 10 Premier League appearance makers of West Ham.
Yes.
So I've got that list for me, a little bit of breakdown in Soufal put it in the middle. And Tony Header!
It is true, isn't it? I mean, that everyone's looking at each other, but
no one knows what's happening here. No one knows.
Well, Antonio's just buried a header. Now,
right.
Whether or not this is subject to some check for some reason, Antonio's not looking overexcited.
Well, of course, Antonio did say last week in that special web chat that he doesn't celebrate goals anymore because the chances of them being overturned are so high. So hopefully that's all it is.
Well, cross comes in from Soufal. Antonio's up. There's nothing wrong with that goal. They might be trying to claim Souček as offside, but he was onside. He doesn't touch the ball. Does he touch the ball? Well, he was onside at the time that ball was headed down. So it may be Souček's goal, actually. Yeah, it takes a little flick off his boot. but I think he's onside at the time that header goes.
Yeah, it's in. We're 3-0 up.
Yes,
they've given it. And
3-0.
The reason they're not celebrating is, lads, it's only Arsenal. It's only Arsenal. So, if you've got a 3-0 up against, say, Man City after 33 minutes, that's a celebration. But 3-0 against this Arsenal team, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that counts as something to get the champagne corks going. 9-0.
Maybe Prosecco. Yeah.
I'm telling you, 9-0, 9-0. It's going to happen.
Coming forward again on the edge of the box. An Arsenal clear. But the reason I'm so ecstatic at the moment is because, for the last few years, Arsenal have been greatly on a decline. We all know that. We all know they're a pretty poor side now. They've still got wealth of attacking talent. But how many times have we seen these lot turn up and dick us over for no apparent reason? And that's why I'm over celebrating, because I've also got a couple of really good mates who are Arsenal fans. I've had it non-stop for the last few years. So, Lowell, have a good day, mate. Enjoy your Sunday. Hope your roast dinner's nice because your team ain't.
Well, while we're on that note of taunting opposition supporters, I'd just like to raise a glass, albeit lime and water, to my daughter's boyfriend Lewis, who appears to have gone missing on our family chat. I do apologise. I spent the last 15 minutes taunting him liberally via Facebook, but he's not replying. So I hope you're all right, Lewis, out there wherever you are, and things are okay.
Sorry. What, he's an Arsenal fan?
This is what happens, you see, when you move, you get infiltrated. Dreadful situation. I know.
You can have her adopted.
I know. But anyway, we're working on it. But maybe he'll come and join the Hammers. You never know. After what he's seen today. But
Whispering Ray,
Whispering Ray, of course.
It's not too late. 3-0 down. See the light. Yeah, there's always room at the London Stadium. I mean, round me, there's usually about 300 or 400 empty seats. So, we can squeeze you in somewhere, mate.
Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable scenes here at the London Olympic Stadium. We've played 35 minutes of the first half. It is West Ham United 3, THREE, Arsenal 0. West Ham 3, Arsenal 0. We've still got another 10 minutes to go until half-time. The Hammers absolutely all over Arsenal so far. Eight shots West Ham have conjured up already today. 3 on target, everyone on target in the back of the net. Arsenal so far only 1 shot, which was on target, but nowhere near beating Fabianski. It's very, very one-sided. Rio, are we celebrating too early? Surely with, we can all remember the West Broms and the Wimbledons and those games, but, it's not a frequent affair when, a team goes 3-0 up and fails to win. Are you confident?
I'm more confident I was at the start of the game, obviously. But there's always that nagging doubt in my mind. And Arsenal have got a wealth of attacking talent. I just think they're an incredibly poor side. They're incredibly brittle at the back. They haven't bought a decent defender in about 15 years. They haven't bought a decent keeper in about 20. And all that years of Champions League money... what have they done with it? Because they look an absolute shock inside. They're so brittle at the back. They're so devoid of any kind of organisation. And long may it continue. I hope they rot in hell.
Hang on, what's that chant I can hear? Is it Wenger in? Can I hear that?
Yes. I would imagine that as much as I'd like everyone to stick with us on the stream, I'm sure that Arsenal Fan TV right now is a real joy to watch for any Hammers. So I don't know if you can open that up in another window on your PCs or your phones and just make sure that the guys over there are okay.
Oh, they pulled the goal back.
They just pulled one back.
Okay.
Good finish from Lacazette there. They've just pulled one back. Yeah, I thought we were being a little bit too taunting there. Ball played in from their right, our left. Into Lacazette. It was given far too much time and space, and that should be a little reminder, a bit of a warning to us. He's pretty much on the penalty spot and nobody near him's got the time to killed a ball turn and it's gone between two players. Fabianski, no chance there. Yeah, a little flick there off, I think, is that Souček? Might have just got a little touch on it. But now, this is where we start to earn our money, because we need to sort of, let's not just sit here and think we've got this game won, like we've been sort of joking and taunting here. We need to work, and Sufo does well to. But Arsenal have got a little bit, the bit between their teeth at the moment, so do need to watch ourselves. We've got one over. They've got one over again on their right, our left.
I've got to say, just coming in there, Gnome, looking at the replay on that goal, I've got a feeling that's going wide.
Yeah,
it takes a slight deflection off of Souček. Yeah, I think it might have gone wide, or at least hit the post. But yeah, the deflection left Fabianski with no chance at all, and it is 3-1.
That's going wide. That's going wide. Credit Lacazette with a finish, but that's poor old Souček there. So
can't stop scoring. I mean, say what you like, whether it's Souček or whether it's Dawson. You know, we're a West Ham team that's full of goals every weekend. And I'd just like to give some special praise to Diesel on the Arsenal Mania forum, who has given a great description of Mikel Arteta. This guy's a bum in an expensive coat. You know, there's not a lot of love there. There's not a lot of love there this afternoon.
No.
West Ham have actually, we're actually, now that could have been 3-2 quite easily. Went to sleep again. Saka was clean through, and shot low. Thankfully, Fabianski was there. But Arsenal have now actually woken up, and we've got to sleep, and we need to turn this around a little bit. So, I want to see. I mean, 3-0 was all very well and good, but that goal's changed things a bit.
Talking about that goal, I'm reading on social media that it has actually been credited to Thomas Souček, which seems a little bit unusual. But as Pinky says,
4 goals from West Ham. That's the last time we scored 4. It's been a while, so I'll take it. And
of course, we scored the goal at Old Trafford last week. So that's the last 5 goals West Ham involved in, 3 for us, 2 for the opposition, all scored by Hammers. Rio, 40 minutes gone. West Ham 3, Arsenal 1. Should we be getting a bit nervous? I mean, we were all sitting here, getting a bit carried away a couple of minutes ago. We should know better.
Yeah, and we've been brought back down to earth a little bit. But let's be honest, the first 35 minutes was pure magic, absolute magic. There's some great teamwork, even on the rare occasions that Arsenal got possession and broke away. Mikel Antonio slotted in nicely when Jared Bowen was caught up front. When Diop did one of his trademark interceptions, moving to midfield, Souček dropped down nicely into the back 4. So the teamwork, the team mentality is great. I think we just need to regroup at half-time here. I mean, Arsenal got back, deflected goal. They're on the uppers at the moment, and they're just attacking again, getting down the right-hand side, and it goes for a corner. Yeah, but I think we just need to regroup and refocus again, because that's all it is. We've been so dominant and so impressed for the first 35 minutes. Arsenal have their moment in the sun. I think just Moyes just needs to get hold of the lads and just get them calmed down and refocused into what we started off with.
Well, what he actually needs is to get hold of Jesse Lingard and Said Benrahma and say one of you has got to do the dog work down the left-hand flank and track back, because there's 2 or 3 times now that Arsenal have managed to work the ball down that flank and get an easy cross in. So quite simply, we're letting Arsenal back into this because we are not working hard enough. And the manager needs to get that message out there very, very quickly.
Yeah, you can see on that occasion, which led to the Arsenal corner, that Lingard essentially leaves Cresswell with 2 on 1. As you say, we need to do a bit better. Arsenal have the corner anyway.
Well, Fabianski punched, and ball eventually came to, I think it was Saka, basically just lobbed it, just hit it straight back over the bar. But can't West Ham, we spent the first 35 minutes taking the game to them, and we're let's play in their half. Another old playing colleague of mine used to be one of his favourite terms. Yeah, let's play in their half. And so we got what 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes or so to go before the interval. Shouldn't be too much stoppage time, but Moyes does have to earn a few bob here at the interval. But we've got the ball in their half again, and Bowen and Antonio combining well on our right hand side. Can't remember. Well, I thought Bowen was fouled there, but now that's Souček now been pulled up for a foul, which if that's a foul, so was the one on Bowen.
There is a message
Souček,
from...
a little bit hard done there. Yeah, Bowen's just been taken out there.
Well-known Arsenal fan, Piers Morgan, has been posting on Twitter this afternoon. And he says, I can't actually repeat what he says, because he says, what the F am I watching? You can fill in the 3 stars yourself. So it's not been a good month for Piers Morgan, is it really? But anyway.
To be fair, I often used to watch GMB at the breakfast telly, and I used to say exactly the same. Yeah.
Like it. We're rapidly approaching half-time. West Ham United lead Arsenal by 3-1 in this afternoon's London derby. The Hammers scoring 3 goals in the space of 17 minutes. The first 2 coming within 98 seconds of each other before Arsenal pulling one back. Pretty close now. No, we just need to see this out, don't we, until the break and, as you say, regroup.
Regroup. Moyes have a word. What I don't want to see this becoming is the second half against Leeds or the last 10 minutes against Spurs, where we think we've got it won and we've got enough in the bank, so we'll just let them do their worst, and we've got enough to we think we've got enough to sort of carry the points, because not everyone will be as profligate as, say, Leeds were, for example. So we're just coming up to the sort of Diop plays the ball back to Fabianski, and Fabianski launches long. 2 minutes of added time. Well, really, I suppose seems a remarkably long period of time. I thought the statutory one to show he was paying attention might have been there, but so I suppose 2 goals, the celebrations. I suppose maybe did they do VAR checks on that? I don't know.
Maybe. A new Hammers fan, or someone who's been following the Hammers of late, is one of my favourite Twitter accounts, Czech Football. And they write this afternoon, there's 3 more weeks to go before Arsenal get to face Slavia in the Europa League. But just to keep them entertained in the meantime, Slavia's West Ham clique combined for a little appetizer. So there you go. Souček and Soufal, of course, ex-Slavia players. We are now into added on time at the end of the first half. West Ham leading 3-1. Pinky, quick summary. Very happy with what you've seen so far, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I mean, particularly the first 30 minutes of this half. I thought we were positive, thoroughly deserving of the lead that we took. A little bit concerned in the last 5-10 minutes that we're allowing Arsenal back into it, and they've just had another chance there. We really do need to 3-2 regroup, refocus, and dare I say it, the next goal will determine where the points are going. If Arsenal get a second here, I wouldn't bet on us, fending them off from getting a third. Let's put it that way. So, we just need to redouble our efforts a little bit. And again, this is where the manager's lack of options on the bench could hurt us, because not only do we not have much of a positive impact going forward, who have we got that can really come on and shore things up, just tighten us up a bit. So we're a bit at 6s and 7s the last 5 or 6 minutes, but generally the first half, very good indeed.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Craig Dawson there on that opportunity, the one that Gnome was referring to. Really good chance for Arsenal, but the big man throwing himself at the ball to ensure the shot was blocked, and it only went out for a corner, which as of now has come to nothing. We're still playing over there, chaps, on your streams?
No, they're playing.
No, we're half time.
So there is. half time at the London Olympic Stadium. West Ham United 3, Arsenal 1. West Ham taking the lead in the 15th minute. Jesse Lingard with an absolute screamer from the edge of the box on the half volley outside of the right foot, whistled into the top corner past Lino, who did not stand a chance. Arsenal had barely gathered their thoughts. West Ham had barely finished celebrating when the Hammers doubled their lead. Jared Bowen it was this time. Lingard involved again. A quick free kick taken on the edge of the box. Arsenal just not ready for that. The ball laid short to Bowen, who beat Lino, poor Lino, on his near post to double West Ham's advantage. Made it 2-0 after 17 minutes. It was 3-0 just after the half-hour mark. Michael Antonio getting on the end of a Vladimir Soufal cross and nodding home to put West Ham into uncharted waters, really, in terms of fixtures against Arsenal. But just bringing us down to 7 minutes ahead of the half-time interval, Lacazette pulling one back for the visitors. Well, actually, no, it wasn't Lacazette, was it? It was a Lacazette shot deflected by Souček with the ball. Apparently, it looked like the shot was going wide. Souček getting a deflection that turned it just inside Fabianski's post. So we go into the halftime break, Rio. West Ham United 3, Arsenal 1. Great stuff from the Hammers, really. Can't complain.
No, I mean, the last 5-10 minutes were a bit nervy, but the opening period was absolutely amazing to watch. We looked so fluent, so full of intent. It was everything that last week was lacking, you know. We always seem to hear these like Moyes against the so-called bigger sides goes in with a negative mentality. Today we come out with a real statement of intent. We know that Arsenal, despite their reputation, are a poor side. We went for the jugular and we absolutely took it. Ripped them apart for that opening half hour. And it was a joy to watch. As we've all mentioned, you know, since their goal, they've grown into the game naturally. You know, it was bound to happen. But they'll refocus at half time, and I'm sure we'll be fine. Yeah, it's a long overdue against these lot. I just hope we can stick at it, re-enter the second half in the same manner as the first half, and take it to them again.
Yes. Did I say Antonio scored the third goal?
It's been, you did. I was just going to say, correct you. It's been credited to Souček officially on here.
Well, I kind of gathered that because I'm just looking at some stats, and I'm reading here that Souček is the first player to score both a goal and an own goal in the same home Premier League game for West Ham since Frank Lampard Jr. Against Leicester at Upton Park in November 1998. So it's been a long time coming. Antonio, for the record, has been directly involved in 8 goals in his last 12 games for the Hammers, 4 goals and 4 assists. So a couple of positive stats. Some halftime stats from the game. West Ham 38% possession to Arsenal 62. That's really turned around. Bearing in mind that West Ham won about 74-75% after about 10-12 minutes. 8 shots for West Ham, 3 on target, 6 shots for Arsenal, 2 on targets. 1 corner for West Ham, 3 for Arsenal. Gnome, I'm guessing you must also be pretty happy with what you've seen in that first half, but warning signs in the last 5-10 minutes for West Ham. Arsenal, the best they've been in the game so far.
Yeah. It all started as we were starting to gloat on. So, can I ask us not to? It's sort of funny.
It's just not very West Ham.
We were having that sort of look at the just as we were looking at the opposition media and things like that, and begin to take the mickey. 2.5 cheers. I'm very concerned at those last 10-15 minutes. The way that we sort of dropped off the intensity. We need to start the second half like we started the first. I think another goal will put everybody's mind at ease, not least the players. But as I say, what that intensity, because we just dropped off. We lacked that idea of taking the game to them.
Yeah.
And as I say, I mean, we saw a similar thing for most of the second half against Leeds, and that's one thing where Leeds sort of didn't make the most of a number of chances. You can't rely on that happening time and time again.
Yeah, that's true. It's still, Pinky, you still suspect, even though West Ham are 2 goals clear at the moment, that there's a long, long way to go in this game yet, and it's certainly far from done and dusted.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. I mean, yeah, it's a tale of 2 flanks here, really. They're weak at right back, and we're weak on the left flank. That's for sure. And that's about how hard the players in front of them are really willing to work to shore things up. There's one message that I hope Moyes is giving the players at half time, is that you have got to keep running every second of every game. No doubt about it. 3-0, 1 or 2 of them might have felt the job's done. And, dare I say it, we'll be seeing Joe Hart type, videos going on social media of apology if that was the case. But, certainly, down that our left-hand flank, we're playing, a pretty narrow back 4, and there's acres of space that's allowing the cross to come in 2 or 3 times now. And we just need a bit more graft and a little less craft on that side. If we do that, I'm sure we'll be fine. I think there's another goal from us coming, that's for sure. They've got absolutely no way of dealing with Thomas Souček whatsoever. The first half, in the opening 20 minutes, he was just drifting in, dare I say it, Martin Peters-like, had the freedom of the park. So, Arsenal have been really poor today. Undoubtedly, they're going to have all the excuses about, midweek travel and all the rest of it, and late nights and blah, blah, blah. Well, late nights and staying up, didn't actually do Tony Adams and Paul Merson that lot much harm, did it? They were winning league titles back then. And they were drinking like fishes as well. So, if Arsenal are going to trot out that old excuse, they've won plenty in the past with late nights. This is about poor application from them, and Mikel Arteta is getting hammered on the Arsenal fans forum, and every other post is Arteta out, and you're thinking, hard school, not much. Oh look, there's Paul Merson on the telly. Hang on, dare I say it? What success!
Your little reference to Tony Adams out drinking reminded me of an incident from many years ago when I was out at a local hostelry, shall we say, on a Sunday afternoon, and Tony Adams turned up for a drink, and the following morning he was splashed all over the papers, having crashed his car into someone's front drive on the way home from a party that followed that session
but he wasn't dressed as a snowman or whatever Antonio was.
Well, yeah. The funny thing about the story was that the guy who met him at the pub, long gone now, Silver Jubilee in Rayleigh, was a guy called John Selby, who was someone I was working with at the time, patron and decorator. But he was a massive Arsenal fan, was John Selby, and Selby took Adams to this party after the pub, and it was returning home from that particular party that Adams smashed his car up. So of course, there on the Sun, on the Monday morning's edition, splashed on the front page was a big picture of Adams with my workmate Selby with his arm around his shoulder, a big Arsenal fan. And of course, Adams ended up doing 6 months, didn't he, in Chelmsford after that. So I'm sure Selby's never lived
a bad person. And a proper West Ham fan as well, I believe. Tony Adams, is that correct? I think he's one of our own.
Family, aren't they? Yeah.
He went to my old school.
There was actually a talk of him coming to us at one point, wasn't there? I think Paul Aldridge, it was at the time, denied it. He'd just retired, and there was talk of him coming on a short-term contract to West Ham. Never happened anyway, so we don't know.
It just proves, though, that everyone wants to be a West Ham United supporter. I mean, it's not just whispering around the floodplains of Fat Town and the Ring Road. It's the whole world. Come and join us. Come and join us. There's plenty of room.
Come and join us, Whispering Ray. Come and join us, my daughter's boyfriend, Lewis. There's plenty of room here. Rio, the KUMB.com forum show is a very happy place. I doubt much has changed in that sense since we last had a look after West Ham had gone 2-0 up. What's the scoop?
Now, everyone's delighted, but after that final 10 minutes, that half, the nerves are kicking in. Much like we had a few alarm bells ringing, the rest of the forum have adopted that particular stance. Just a couple of examples. Wolf359 is saying Cresswell is getting destroyed at left back, as Bubba's 1966 predicted. We need to protect him better. Come on, David. Rice as captain. Recognise this. Derby Hammer. Arsenal are starting to play now. I'm glad we got the cushion that we struggled to get most of this season. I hope Moyes isn't tempted to make a change to try and go more defensive at half-time. Give it half an hour or 20 minutes. Fair enough, but not a whole half. West Ham. Is there any room under the table? Because a lot of us are kind of thinking and worrying that and looking for refuge, so to say. Parker's here. We definitely regroup half-time. Tierney Soufal every time on a one-on-one. Il Martello de Genoveses, but we're 3-1 up. There's some fantastic attacking football, and people are moaning about Benrahma Cresswell not defending properly. We're playing Arsenal, and we've gone out. Of course, they'll get chance, but we've scored 3. As for Moyes not trusting Benrahma, he started him. He could have started Johnson, and he didn't, and it's made all the difference. So, yeah, a lot of positivity, a little bit of apprehension from him after that last 5-10 minutes, but all in all, a lot of happy campers.
Great stuff. That's what we'd like to see. No, has starting side Benrahma made all the difference today, or is there more to it than that?
I think that the whole team sort of attitude, I suppose. We got the ball from kickoff, and we just went. And Arsenal seemed sort of a little bit bemused, almost. You know, it's like, oh, they're not supposed to. They always sit back. You know, they're not supposed to come at us like that. And as I say, for 30-35 minutes, it was just marvellous to watch. Lingard certainly helps in that respect, because you've got that extra bit of attacking focus and creativity. But Rama's been a bit quiet. He had a few touches early on, and he looks excited when he gets the ball, doesn't he? And you know, but the sort of there's kind of a bit of a difference between the excitement, the anticipation when he gets the ball, and the result from it at the moment. But let's say the whole philosophy seems to have been different from the last game and a half, if you like. So, as I say, I mean, I hope that that's been sort of like shouted in people's ears at the moment, because I don't want much more of the last 10 minutes that we saw in the second half. Quite apart from anything else, you know, I've got blood pressure and stuff to consider. So.
Yes. Interestingly, on that point, Gnome, Chris Akabusi, friend of the show,
oh yeah,
says I'll take that 3-1 to West Ham in the first half, but I think Benrahma has to come off, as he's our weak link. It doesn't threaten enough up front. He's lightweight in retaining possession or in defence. Ben Johnson, anyone? Pinky, thoughts on that?
Well, I think, is this the same Chris Akabusi who this time last week was saying Benrahma had to start?
I think he did.
You know, sorry, Chris, if you're watching, but. And if I've missed calling you there, I apologise. But yeah, dare I say it, like every other supporter, we're all the same, aren't we, in that regard? You know, when it's going well, we think the team selection's right, and when it's not going well, we think the team selection's wrong. But we need to shore up that flank. Of that, there's no doubt. Because you know, Arsenal now, if their fans' form is anything to be believed, you know, their manager is playing for, you know, they're playing for the manager's job now, you know, because the so-called Bank of England club, they've had to go cap in hand to the Bank of England for an enormous loan. They've got a wage bill that would make, you know, David Sullivan keel over, I'm sure. You know, it's hundreds of millions of pounds, and they are not looking like hundreds of millions of pounds worth of talent out there this afternoon. So I'm expecting Arsenal to come out all guns blazing, because if they don't, it is the death knell for Mikel Arteta. You know, you're 3-1 down away at West Ham United, a club that most of your supporters would look down their noses at. You know, this is not a good look for Arsenal Football Club. So if they don't come out all guns blazing, I'd say Arteta is as good as done. That's how serious this is for Arsenal.
Well, yeah, it's certainly a theory that's shared by one or two of the Arsenal fans posting on Arsenal Mania this afternoon. He doesn't cut a happy figure, does he? Sitting there in the bucket seats in the dugout as we prepare to start.
just a bum in an expensive coat, according to one of the well-known members on that site.
Yeah, it's a very nice coat. I'll give him his dues. It's very, very nice indeed.
We're underway again, by the way.
Excellent. Okay, good stuff. Got a couple of quick stats to throw in. Apparently, according to Sky, 32 minutes. It's the earliest that West Ham have scored 3 goals in a Premier League match since May 2007, when they did the same against Bolton, scoring 3 in the first 29 minutes. Couple of numbers for you. Jesse Lingard's first half numbers: 100% take-ons completed, 75% pass accuracy, 3 passes into the penalty area, 3 ball recoveries, 1 assist, 1 shot, 1 goal. He loves playing against the arse, as we've seen already. Second half underway. Rio, first goal here is going to be hugely important, isn't it? West Ham get it. You'd assume the game's over. If Arsenal get it, then we're going to be biting our fingernails once again.
Yeah, most definitely. And they've started off on the front foot. They played more in our attacking half in the first 55 seconds than they did in the first 20 minutes. They just flicked it on Lacazette's throw. He's lobbed it over. Oh, great defending.
Oh, superb.
It's a Diop. Take a bow, my boy.
Oh,
Lacazette got through, flicked it over Fabianski. It's a Diop with an overhead clearance off the line. The danger signs have been shown, and if I've got any nails left by the end of this cup game, I will be incredibly surprised.
Yeah, Arsenal on the front foot from the off there, and well, Pinky, got to ask you. You're the man. Issa Diop. We've been critical of him before, but absolutely on his game there, wasn't he? Great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he absolutely did what he had to do, and that's where his extra little bit of pace, shall we say, those long legs, has helped out, because he covered the ground and managed to get his boot where it was needed, and thankfully he did, because if that had gone in, what with still best part of 45 minutes to play, who knows where this would have ended up. They're going to come at us for the next 5-10 minutes, no question about it, but just hold on, hold out, and then you'll suddenly start seeing the Arsenal heads drop, because I don't think this is a team that's got a whole lot of heart in it, compared with Arsenal teams we've seen in the past. Lacazette on the ball again. Dawson just steers the ball out for an Arsenal throw. But next goal, absolutely crucial.
Do we Gnome? Do we? Looking at this game from David Moyes' perspective here, he's been charged with being a little bit too defensive against some of the better sides in the Premier League. Of course, we know Arsenal aren't one of the better sides this year, but traditionally speaking, and is this a case of Moyes perhaps retreating into his shell a little bit? With 3-1 up, is it going to be safety first for Moyes, do you think, for the next 45 minutes? Are we going to be looking forward to another second half like that one against Tottenham a few weeks ago?
Well, come back to that as Arsenal sort of build up on their left, their right. But the ball's played in and it's cut out. I don't think it's a case of us deliberately sort of playing all that defensively. I think it's more a case of Arsenal are suddenly, they're 2 goals behind. They're going to have to bring the game to us. I don't think that's something we've got an awful lot of choice in the matter of.
Yeah.
As well, Fabianski comes out and saves at the feet of Saka there. It's not been an inspiring immediate start. I mean, okay, they had kick-off and they had the momentum from that, but there's a little ball round the corner there, but Fabianski, very good goalkeeping, came out to the edge of the box to snuffle that out. We need to get our foot on the ball and start knocking it around like we did in that first sort of 30 minutes or so, which we haven't been able to do so far in the 4 minutes or so that the game started. Since the game restarted, no changes to either side, by the way, since the interval, at the interval anyway. This whisper it. This looks like it might be a long second half.
We need a goal, don't we, gentlemen? Just one more to settle the nerves. I should point out perhaps that none of us can be right with our predictions today since Arsenal scored that third one. Rio was the only one left with the chance of having the right score. Rio, we mocked you, gently teased you, I suppose, when you suggested it might be 4-0, but it looked for 1 minute that you might be spot on there in the first half.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. And let's be honest, it was more by blind hope and how can I put it? Fueled by a week of bad news and bad omens and stuff like that. And I just went to exercise all them demons in one go. I never for the life of me thought we'd ever get close to doing this, but I've just got a fear that we got absolutely dicked in the rugby yesterday. We've got absolutely dicked in the cricket. Please, West Ham, don't make an hat trick. I can't take it. Not this week. No, please don't do it to me.
What I would say is that the way things are, we're just, if Antonio can keep his wits about him, we're just one long clearance on the break away from making things a lot more comfortable. So, but we do need another cross comes in, it's dealt with, and but it's just coming back wave after wave. We're not holding on the ball at all at the moment, and this is like the first 4 or 5 minutes of the first half at exactly the same end, if you see what I mean. Just different colour shirts.
Yeah. You know, you'd have to assume, I think, Pinky, that this is tactical from David Moyes. You know, the fact that we are sitting very deep and just sort of trying to see out, I would imagine, the first 10 or 15 minutes, and as Gnome says, rely on, you know, a quick counter, a ball over the top, an opportunity like that. But sort of the way this is going, you know, David Moyes, as we know, not particularly quick to make a substitution, but I've got a feeling that might not be the case today if it stays 3-1 and, you know, we fail to get out of our own half still. Perhaps see Ben Johnson or someone like that coming on after the hour mark, maybe.
I'd hook Ben Rama right now and bring Johnson on.
Yeah.
Right now. I mean, Ben Rama, to his credit, you know, he dropped back deep there and was filling in alongside the fullback, but he's not the player that you want to be defending against some quick-footed Arsenal players. I mean, Saka is lightning quick, you know, in terms of pace. Cresswell, not the fastest player we've got, and I'd just like to just shore us up there a little bit. You know, do we need to win by 4 goals to 1? No, we don't. 3-1's good enough. What we mustn't do is capitulate and get to 3-3.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, we sort of joked about it, didn't we, in the first half? But you never know. Interesting point here. Apparently, West Ham are currently 5th while in the Premier League at the moment, while averaging just 42% possession all season, which is joint 15th out of the 20 Premier League clubs. Can't have been done that often, can it? I mean, I know Leicester famously Gnome won the league, you know, with only, I think it was 45% possession, but you know, 42% is quite low, and you know, it's as we say, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, you know. But as I always say, you know, if you haven't got the ball, you can't score goals.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just getting exasperated there. We've just given away a free kick, trying our way out as we just got caught in possession. Free kick about 30 yards out, I think, when the camera pulls back. We'll see where this is. Yeah, about 30, 35 yards out. Just exasperating because want for touch, a decent touch on the ball. We could have brought the ball away there instead. Not the greatest of touches, and we're back on the back foot again. Anyway, just Odegaard's over the ball, chips it in, and that's Louise, who's just well, sort of got a foot on it and sort of played it back across goal, just went wide at the far post. Louise peels off there and does a run to the back post, tries to get, it's more of a cross he's trying to get in, but it just drifts away. So not great from Louise, but yeah, I'm glad that was a worry, that particular point. I did worry about what was going to happen with that free kick. I just had a feeling there. So
yeah.
Anyway, Fabianski with a goal kick.
Yeah. 54 minutes gone. West Ham United 3, Arsenal 1. No change since half-time. West Ham scoring 3 goals in the opening 32 minutes for the first time.
God, Lingard on the ball now. Oh, what referee? What's he stopped that for?
No?
Sorry, I'm not quite sure what's happening. I don't think the referee knows what's happening. I think we might actually have been given a free kick when Antonio laid the ball off to Lingard, went running through and goal. what? Antonio's got the ball there. Antonio failed. Lingard brings the ball away. And,
They're looking at Souček, aren't they? They're looking at the Souček incident.
No, surely not. Lingard's running away with the ball, exasperated. What's he going to... And now Moss is sort of like was holding his ear as if he hasn't got... Moss doesn't know what's going on any more than I do. I don't know if anybody's got a commentary on, maybe able to see. Now, Moss has gone over to talk to Moyes now, and
I think they're pulling it back.
I think he's blown for the foul on Antonio, which undoubtedly was, and not played the advantage, which is one of the most frustrating things you see in football. Because yeah,
he's blown. You can see it on the replay. He's blown before.
He dropped it.
What's he doing?
Yeah, and I don't know if that was a free kick or a drop ball that he get, but Antonio's just run it out into touch. That is frustrating because Lingard was on goal. He had, I think he had Bowen outside him. And, it was really, really worrying. Nice back heel from Lingard now. Antonio, it's our first little spell in their half. Antonio looking for help. Cresswell, lovely ball into Benrahma. Gets the ball to the byline. Doesn't get the cross in, but gets the corner from it. This is our first little spell attacking them anyway. No doubt Cresswell will be over for this corner. So let's have a look. Sorry, I'm very frustrated by that sort of thing. It's clear advantage and why bring it back?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one as a referee, that isn't it?
Probably the best
You
12
go
inch
for a couple of things, see what's happening, and if nothing, then don't blow up. Simple as that. Not so hard at all. Cresswell with a corner, not a good one. Goes to the near post. Benrahma picks up the loose ball. Looped back in and cleared by Arsenal. This is going to go all the way back to Fabianski. And at least it wasn't one of those ones where we have the corner and the opposition score anyway. That was done a few of those. Ball out on the right now with Bowen in good position. Bowen's looking for help, not finding any. Now Soufal comes up to join. Soufal gets a cross in. Antonio challenges. Souček challenges. Ball's out to Rice. Plays it cleverly out now to Lingard, who's out on the left wing. Still Lingard into Rice. Rice looking now. Not a good cross in, and it doesn't beat the first man, but it's out again to Soufal on the right hand side. Good little spell. This is what I want us to see. Keep it up there. Now Soufal into Antonio. Got a good little bit of space in the box. Has a shot, and Rosette again will be or wherever. But good little spell. I mean, no goal at the end of it, but Arsenal can't score while we've got the ball up here and we're sort of pushing and pushing. So, a bit more of that, please.
Yeah, I guess that kind of comes back to what I was saying about the possession thing a few minutes ago. It's always good. But Rio, good to see West Ham finally getting our foot on the ball in this second half, because we haven't seen a lot of it so far.
Yeah, took this thing out of Arsenal a little bit. As I say that, they're just on the attack. Down the left-hand side once more. Aubameyang looking to kind of seek out little spaces, turn inside, and we conceded the foul.
No, referee.
Soufal, and I think it was Soufal and Dawson, and Soufal's going to book for that. There's nothing in that whatsoever.
That is absolutely...
That's a joke decision.
That's an absurd decision. No, absolutely no, referee. You're 2 foot away from that. You can see, cuts in. Soufal gets his body between, and then that's Aubameyang throws himself to the floor. Soufal shaking his head, and quite rightly so. That's a disgusting decision. Gives Arsenal a free kick in a dangerous position, and it's just quite simply wrong. And he's got no excuse. Can't say I didn't see that. He had a perfect view of it. Dreadful.
Yeah, it's a clear dive. Soufal, you'd have to presume booked for the reaction rather than any foul there. But maybe Moss has seen Soufal's arm go up into Lacazette's face, but I presume that's what he's given it for. Well,
we'll have the penalty for Bowen because the bloke had his arm on his arm. Not a penalty, it was a dive. We're honest enough to say that, but you know.
Arsenal have a free kick anyway. No.
Yeah, well, nothing came to free kick. Got another one now. You know, they've got the bit between their teeth now. Push the ball past, draw a bit of minimal contact, throw themselves to the floor. It's well, in a way, it's. I suppose it shows a little bit of sign of desperation, but unfortunately, in Moss, they've got someone who's a bit gullible by the looks of things. Bowen can bring this away.
Has he given that?
No. Bowen's been fouled, and he gives. Moss is just having a complete and utter nightmare now. Bowen's fouled, and if they score from this,
and they do,
another bloody own goal.
Referee, you are an absolute disgrace. I really, that is just disgusting. Referee, Bowen's fouled, and the ball goes down. He gives the foul the other way.
Regardless, it is West Ham United 3, Arsenal 2. Pinky, we said we want to see out the first 10-15 minutes. We did that, but you know, it's all to play for again.
Just have a look at how much space the Arsenal 21's got to put the cross in there. There isn't a West Ham United player within 10 yards of him, and I'm sorry. You know, I'm going to call out Ben Rama again, who stood on the edge of the box, could have actually done a lot more of a defensive contribution there. He completely switched off, gives the Arsenal land loads of room, cross comes in and they bury it. You know,
well, Dawson buries it. We should point out another own goal.
But you take the point here. You stop the cross coming in, there's no goal. That's the point.
Yeah.
It's actually, if you look at that, I mean, you know, we put that video out last week of Ben Rama sort of ball watching for the Fernandes shot that hit the post last week, and also, you know, for the FA Cup goal by McTominay when he allowed the Man United player to drift in behind him. Same thing again, exactly the same thing. Ben Rama stopped, and this is the point we were making about that. Is David Moyes will see that, and I'm sure he'll be seething at that. But surely you think now, Pinky, that a change is on the way soon. Surely Johnson's going to be coming on soon.
Well, I mean, I've got to say, you know, the fact that we've put that video out, and you know, we've discussed it at length on these programs, and we discussed it in play today. You know, we said exactly where they were getting all of their change this afternoon. Arsenal. I'm going to pin a little bit of that on David Moyes, because if we could see that in game today, and he's seen it week after week after week, he's left the player out there. He's left him out there. And, you know, for whatever he brings going forward, he does nothing defensively. And at this level, that isn't good enough. And I'm sorry, Ben Rama, I mean, people might think I've got a bit of a downer on the guy, but stop the cross coming in. There's no goal. And here we are now. There's half an hour to go. We're hanging on here now. You know, in the game we're well in control of. Sorry, but not good enough.
It's technically West Ham 5, Arsenal 0. All 5 goals scored by West Ham players. And interestingly, all 5 players signed by David Moyes. Craig Dawson trying to outdo himself. Rio, which was the best one? That header last week at Man U, or that finished today? I mean, he took that pretty well, didn't he, today? Let's be honest.
Yeah, the boy is deadly in front of goal. Sadly, you just don't know which end now at the moment. How many goals did he score for us? Was it 4? So if he's trying to even out the balance, I'd dread to think where the next 2 are coming from. I'd actually sub him off and put Balbuena on, because he's got that scent of blood in his nose, isn't he? You know, when strikers get that scent of any time they touch the ball, it's going in the back of the net. We just don't know which end. It's terrifying.
Yeah, I know what scent I'm getting from the back of my trousers watching this game going on, and it's not good. West Ham United 3, Arsenal 2, 65 minutes gone. West Ham were leading 3-0, and now we're hanging on. No, there's still a long, long way to go. What would you do if you're Moisey in this particular situation?
think we need to shore up that left hand side, and I think Johnson's the man for that. But we do need to keep hold of the ball. Now we've got the ball in their half. We're attacking. Nice ball in from Lingard. Plays the ball through. Oh, that should have been 4. Tierney puts the blocking on. Both Bowen and Antonio had shots there that got blocked. Some good football from West Ham. There's Bowen wins the ball early on. Nice ball in from Lingard. Flicked off from Antonio. Bowen's shot's blocked, and then the ball rebounds to Antonio. And Antonio tries to play it in, and Tierney's getting all the pats on the back, but he's on the floor and knows nothing about that block. So let's keep it up here. That's what we want. Corner to West Ham. Cresswell looking for a better one than the last one, and it is. Punched away by Lino, and that's going to go for a corner, I think. Oh, Linesman says it's kept in. Oh, but then that's nearly well won by, I think, Souček there, but Arsenal come away again, and Bowen puts the block in that time. So this is what we need to do, keep it up this end. They can't score from up this end.
Yeah, Pinky, it was goal bound, that effort from Michail Antonio, until a prone Tierney somehow managed to deflect and keep Arsenal in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, going forward today, we've looked fine, but I have to say, as soon as they put us under any pressure at the back, we are looking, wide open. Absolutely wide open, and David Moyes has got to make a change, surely, because just despite us having a very good chance there, Arsenal have been utterly dominant in the second half. Let's call it as we're seeing it, and I wouldn't say that our heads have dropped. I don't think that's true, but we can all see where the weak positions are out there at this point in time, and Arsenal are a good enough team to exploit it, and they will do. He needs to make the change now.
We're seeing some players warming up on the touchline, and some people might say it's coming a little bit too late, but no.
Well, Arsenal on the attack again, and it's it's a good block. Odegaard had the shot, but it was a good block, and we're bringing it away now. Antonio's just flown. Oh, come on, referee. He's just hauled to the ground by Luiz there. Referee is having a complete and utter nightmare here. Antonio was actually rugby tackled there. It's good work from Barama to bring the ball away on the left. Plays a nice looking ball, but it's nowhere near Bowen in the end, and Arsenal bring it back. But come on, ref, at least have some sort of potential.
Here we are again. All the room in the world. In comes the cross.
Yeah.
Right. If you hear a loud bang in a couple of minutes, that is my team mug going through the TV. Because do you know what?
Yeah, it's frustrating stuff. Going back to knowing what you were saying a couple of minutes ago, I'm not quite sure how Moss has missed that one. I mean, a couple of them, you can say maybe not. The advantage a few minutes ago, sometimes you get that wrong as a referee, but I can't see how he didn't see that tug from Luiz. It was blatant. Yeah,
it's a rugby tackle that we didn't see from England yesterday, for example. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty obvious one. And you sort of wonder why the assistant isn't helping him out in those situations, because he stood 10, 15 yards away.
You shouldn't need an assistant to see that. Sorry.
No, of course.
He's looking right at it. Yeah. And either he knows the laws of the game or he doesn't. If he doesn't know the laws of the game, what's he doing? If he does, why doesn't he give it? Simple as that.
Yeah, we've just seen a couple of replays of an incident, Odegaard's shot that was blocked by Aaron Cresswell. Presumably, Sky are trying to point out the fact that it came off his arm, but I mean, you'd have to be pretty harsh to give that as a ball when his arm's tucked into his side and it's hit at him from about 6 inches away. But there you go. Perhaps the Arsenal fans amongst the Sky contingent are getting desperate as we approach the final 20 minutes of the game. Still no substitutions. And West Ham hanging on for grim death, Theorio.
Yeah, and when we do get the ball, our final delivery has been absolutely shocking. We need someone with a bit of intelligence and a calm head out there, and we're not getting it from anybody. We're getting completely bamboozled down the left-hand side. And when I Pinky said it, I'm going to point out something else. A moment ago, that Ben Rama did a magical piece of footwork, and he just put an absolute abysmal ball into the centre.
Yeah.
You know? He needs someone to get hold of him and wake him up and say, look, this is a team game. This is not bloody FIFA Night 2021.
Yeah.
It's not a computer game. This is Premiership football. You can't afford to do that kind of thing. You need to be switched on mentally. And I don't think he's got it with him. He's got all the ability in the world, but none of the intelligence and tactical awareness.
Mikel Antonio is now at left back. And again, he too was ball watching and falling asleep. So having done the right thing to actually fall back and fill in the place, he then nods off as well. There must be some kind of magic potion in that part of the pitch. Yeah, that's causing every player to fall asleep. I mean, heavens above. I mean, I'm sorry, but this has been completely obvious now for 20 minutes. And David Moyes is being far too slow here to make the change. And I don't know what game he's playing. Maybe he's trying to show the chairman, this is why I don't pick this young man to start every week. Yeah. You know, share the pain, Mr. Chairman, kind of thing. But, you know, I mean, we are a hair's breadth away from conceding an equaliser here, which will be calamitous for our season. It really will be. Yeah, this is the worst Arsenal team for 30 years. You know, comfortably. And we, you know, 3 goals up, you've got to put the game to bed. To be at 3-2 up, you know, we've lost the balance of play in this.
Yeah. Interesting comment from one of KUMB's followers on Twitter. Said that I enjoyed watching the best 30 minutes I've seen from West Ham this season. Unfortunately, it was swiftly followed by the worst 30 minutes I've seen this season. It's definitely been up there because, you know, those periods in games have been short and few and far between, haven't they, really, this season, Pinky?
Yeah. You know, and again, we're on the attack here a little bit. Bowie in there just as well to recover the ball. Rice slings it in. Antonio tries to get his head on it, but he's well marshalled by Sideshow Bob. And I think it's Tierney clears upfield. Souček on the ball now, plays it to his teammate Soufal, I think it was, and ball goes out of play for an Arsenal throw. And there's some subs coming on now. Mark Noble looks like he's coming on. He's taking his tracksuit top off. So I'm guessing it'll be for Ben Rama. No, is that Bowen going to the sideline?
Yeah, Bowen coming.
Okay, slightly surprising one there.
Bowen's had an interesting day. He's been upended about 4 or 5 times and not had one free kick out of it, bless him. But yeah, Noble on for Bowen. Refreshing to see Noble's actually got his kit on under his tracksuit top there. And particular.
Now, if anyone writes on the forum, we were winning when Ben Rama was on the pitch, or something like that, or you know, or we were winning till Noble came on. Yeah, whilst technically not against the forum rules, I am going to delete it. All right, just for being trolling or whatever we call it. Yeah.
Saka and Chaka off for Pepe and Smith Rowe. The two Arsenal changes. They made 2 changes there. So now Antonio gets on a loose back pass, plays the ball into Lingard. Go on. Oh dear. How to describe that? Antonio latched onto a poor back pass, put Lingard into the box. Arsenal managed to clear somehow, I think is the best way to describe that. Complete mare by the Arsenal defence, and that's all it needs. Just keep awake, keep on your toes.
Yeah, good opportunity. Unlucky, and it could have been another own goal, which would have been interesting. But it remains West Ham United 3, Arsenal 2. Rio, Mark Noble coming on now. I think we would have all understood Ben Johnson coming on to shore up that left-hand side. But what do you reckon the thinking is behind bringing Mark Noble on? I can imagine what people are saying on the KUMB.com forum match thread.
I'm still trying to work out myself. I mean, Ben Rama had to be the one to go. Bowen offers that injury and work rate. He's not had the greatest of games, but he's got a goal. He does work hard. You know, there's a few fingers on the forum being pointed in for the Arsenal second goal in the build-up. But yeah, we're obviously looking for a more defensive mindset. But surely you've got to take Ben Rama off because he's a little bit of a liability, especially today. Mark, come on, his first touch wasn't particularly good, but you know, you've got to trust the captain, you've got to trust the manager. And as I say, they're on the attack again, forced away into the box. Surely, go!
Oh, Lord. That should have been 4. Now, still on the ball. No, sorry, I want to see this again because what's happening?
I haven't seen it yet at all. I'll let you know in a minute.
The referee's given a free kick, and for as far as I can see, it was nothing's happened. So Ben Rama squares it. Antonio hits the post. It's a good run by Ben Rama, who was slightly up there. But Antonio hits the post on the stretch from. He's not offside because he's behind the ball. He's on the stretch, so. But quite why there's a free kick, I have no idea. Because of anything, Souček was like pushed to the ground there. So, you know,
strange one. Nicolo Antonio suffering a touch of the Paul Gascoigne's there at the far post. Shades of Euro '96, the semi-final once again. Just couldn't stretch far enough to get his toe round the ball and put the match pretty much beyond any doubt if that one had gone in. But as it is, it stays West Ham United 3, Arsenal 2. It's still all to play for, and we've still, Rio, got another 13 minutes left to play.
Plus the obligatory 7 minutes injury time. I'd like to point it out.
Yes.
Grab your heart pills, grab the sofa, grab a pillow, bite into it. This is going to be terrifying. This is going to be absolutely terrifying. And Ryan Fredericks is about to come on. He could do with a shave, not being funny.
A pillow. Rio, this is a family show. Okay, I don't know what it is you're watching there, but we've got the Arsenal game on. Yeah.
I need something to hide behind.
Heavens above.
We know what you mean, Rio. We know what you mean.
Under pressure.
Anyway, another substitute for West Ham.
Yeah, Ryan Fredericks is about to come on, but he's not managed yet. Arsenal attacking once again down our left-hand side. They force it into the middle, back again, and they've got 3 hit into the middle here. And this is I'm very much not in favour of music being played in stadiums, but at times, particularly for that attacking process that we just hit the post and the attack Arsenal just had, the Benny Hill theme being blared out around the Olympic Stadium wasn't going to miss.
Some of that gangly, honky-tonk piano stuff that used to have accompany silent films would have not gone amiss there, you know.
We're only missing Harold Lloyd hanging off the floodlights somewhere in the distance, you know.
Yeah, maybe a James Finlayson.
There goes Ben Rama.
Double take.
The substitute is made. Ben Rama off, Fredericks on.
There it is. Ben Rama finally pulled off after 79 minutes. I'm not playing your games. You filthy boys. 79 minutes gone. Rio's lost it. Ben Rama replaced, should I say, by Ryan Fredericks with 11 minutes of the game to go. Gnome, help me out here.
No, you're on your own, mate. Arsenal still trying to put the ball in, and but we're actually picking up some of these passes now. And Lingard tries to play Antonio through. wins the ball back. Well done, Lingard, and stays on his feet. The ball hit Antonio on the back. Lingard bearing into the box. Antonio's now gone wide. Lingard tries in the end to do a curler at the top corner, but it's about 5 yards wide and 6 yards high, so nothing happening there. But good work from Lingard there. He tried to play Antonio in, just clipped him on the back of the heel, which was unfortunate. But Lingard did well to win the ball back. And this is what I want to see. Keep it up there. Keep it up there. 10 minutes to go, plus whatever Moss finds in his watch. And I've got little confidence in him at the moment, as you can probably tell.
Yeah, not had the smartest of second halves, has he? Did okay in the first
another
half,
free kick where that's Dawson has actually put a foot in and won the ball, and there's far too many of those given today by Moss. Arsenal make their final throw of the dice, and we've got Aubameyang, skipper, is coming off, having had a little change today. And it's their number 35 is Martinelli, Gabriel Martinelli. So on for Aubameyang. And so that's their last sub.
Gnome, what do we know about Martinelli?
His first name's Gabriel. Hang on. Again, ball down our right, cross comes in, and that's 3-3. And again, come down our left. And that's just, just appalling, really. Our left-hand side, again, it's Lacazette's getting all the plaudits there. Very, very depressing, this.
We've got to be careful not to go all Tottenham here. I'm being very careful because we don't want this video circulated on Tottenham social media and Arsenal social media. So let's. Pinky's absolutely steaming, but I'm good to see that the teacup hasn't gone through the TV screen yet. So what are you thinking, Pinkers?
I'm thinking that I actually need a slightly bigger telly next week. So it's only a matter of time before this one actually does get the teacup treatment. I mean, I'm sorry, this is a thoroughly unprofessional second half from West Ham United. It's poor. There's no excuse for it. This is not a world-beating Arsenal team, although I have to say they look like they're going to beat us this afternoon. 3-0 up, in total command of the game, and we chuck it away. There's a poor pass there. We're in possession, and we just give it away 20 yards from our goal, and just score. Arsenal. Well done. Fabianski gathers the ball, but very unprofessional by us, because I will never ever accept a team that's 3-0 up, conceding 3 goals. It's just lacks professionalism. There's enough out there. There's enough nous amongst the players on the pitch, never mind the manager, to organise themselves to say, do you know what? We can see where we're getting battered all afternoon. Let's shore it up a touch. And we haven't done it. We haven't done it at any stage in the second half.
Come on, Ray!
Paid the price.
We've been given a free kick.
Yeah, but this, let's not give ourselves the easy and soft option out here.
No, I'm just saying it's the first one we've been given. I'm not making excuses. I think a referee might be culpable for at least 2 of the goals, but no, we've not played well enough. I'm right with you, Pinky, but I'm just astounded that he gave it.
We were playing for a spot, trying to push for a top 4 place. Yeah. And forget whether it's the Champions League or not. It's about finishing as high up in the league as any of these players are going to finish in their careers. Yeah. Be the best you can be. And I haven't seen that desire today. I haven't seen it. At 3-0 up, we just said, well, there you go. Joe Hart style, job done. And this is what you get.
That's what we did. We just turned off. And once you've turned off, it's so difficult to get the momentum back again. And, it's Arsenal on the attack again now. And as I say, bringing the ball away now, thankfully. And that's a good run from Declan. And go on, son. Declan's actually storming through. Now play Antonio in. Oh, Declan ended up, he'd run the length of the pitch there. He got a shot in on, Arsenal were messing it about a bit at the back there. So, well, fine margins, as they say, but good shot from Declan. And Lino had to be on his mettle to save that because we all want to get back now. I mean, there have been little 2 or 3 minutes. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. The ball played into, is that Party? I'm sure who that is, but.
It's Nketiah, I think.
Yeah, but he's claiming Dawson's pulled him down, but sorry, you're not having that. If Bowen has no foul there, I don't know what he's claiming. But again, a sloppy ball. I mean, we picked the ball up, but we've switched right off, and players need a good look at themselves here.
Yeah, plenty of time for reflection after the game, but of course we've still got another. It could be up to 10 minutes left in this one, and well, I mean, it could be anyone's this one, Rio, couldn't it? I mean, West Ham have seemed to have finally woken up and realised that we're going to get absolutely slaughtered if we fail to win this one, having been in such a commanding position after half an hour. And Arsenal clearly fancy it, given that they've come from 3 behind, and West Ham have now got the likes of Ryan Fredericks and Mark Noble on the pitch.
Sadly, I think there's only going to be one winner, and it's not going to be us. We've completely forgotten the basics. We're not defending well. We've been stopping possession. Everything that my side has done well all season, we've completely forgotten. There's a chance a couple of minutes ago that Arsenal had, and I think it was Pepe. It was just he's in acres his space on the right-hand side. And how he didn't score is just a miracle. Everything that we do well has gone completely awry. And I'm going to say now, if Arsenal win this, they thoroughly deserve it because they've had the mental gumption they've not had all season. And we've retreated into ourselves. We've reverted to type.
Yeah.
I really hate saying that.
Yeah, it's a very it's a very West Ham-like performance, but the kind of which that we haven't really seen this season, if that makes sense, I guess. But unfortunately, West Ham have only played for 1/3 of this match. Sort of fell asleep. Rio?
Well, we can't clear it again. Cross again from our left, and the Fabianski full stretch to tip it away. We bring the ball away, but we need to. Well, Lingard's going down the left now, looking again for help. There's only Antonio up anywhere near him. We've joined somebody else there. Antonio's got it now and loses it. This is what we must do. We must keep hold of the ball, especially when it's in the opposition half. Great tackling back from. I'm flabbergasted. Not only is that not a foul, it's not. He's given a yellow card for it, and he's come all the way back, and he looks like he took the ball there.
No, he's fouled.
No, fair enough. Bit late. It was because the way the ball went, it looked like Antonio had connected with the ball, but. Fair enough, it's a foul. Booking. Yeah.
We are in the closing stages. West Ham United 3, Arsenal 3. West Ham United led 3-0 after 32 minutes. Thrown it away in this second half. Well, it was 3-1 at half time, a Souček own goal, but a Dawson own goal and a Lacazette header. The first goal scored by an Arsenal player in this game means that, as it stands, the points will be shared, which is going to be hugely disappointing, Gnome, from a West Ham perspective, if that's the case.
Yeah, just seen Cresswell booked. If you'd like to inform me what that was for, he got a little foot in, borderline foul. Definitely not a yellow card, but Moss can't bring the yellow card out quickly enough now for us. Free kick, dangerous position, and well, it's Odegaard on the ball now, puts both hands up in the air. That's just going to go wide, curls it wide to the far post. Arsenal players throw themselves to the floor, and as well they might, because they. Yeah, I mean, look at that from Louise. He's missed the ball and thrown himself to the floor, and then looks. Well, yeah, definitely worth a chance.
Final few seconds of normal time.
Yeah.
Have we? Has it been indicated yet how many extra minutes we've got added on here?
No, I'll tell you, it's 5 seconds to go of normal time, and as Fabianski takes the goal kick, it should come up any second. No indication yet as Arsenal go forward. 3 minutes. Arsenal, Odegaard's on the ball now. Ball gets played back to Fabianski, who clears his lines. And Souček, there's a lot of head tennis going on, and slight nudge at Souček, which Moss gives. Baffling, but he's not had a good game, Mr. Moss, I'm afraid.
No, it's made quite a few interesting calls in this second half, but unfortunately, none of them have really led to any. Well, I suppose you could argue the second one with the potential, with the free kick that was given before the second Arsenal goal. But West Ham pretty much responsible for their own demise in this one. I don't think we're going to be able to blame anyone else. For the way this game's gone in the second half. But Pinky, is that it now? Are we going to have to settle for a point here?
The way the last half hour has been, I'd absolutely settle for a point.
Yeah.
Dare I say it, with 90 seconds still to go, I don't think a point's guaranteed. That's how poor we've been since Arsenal got their second goal, really. We've been hanging on, and we didn't make the necessary changes. Either the players on the field didn't adapt to what was clearly happening, and the manager certainly didn't adapt quickly enough, in my opinion. Dare I say it, we will end up being lucky to get a point, having totally dominated the opening 30 minutes of this match. But it's not enough. It's not enough. You switch off at any stage in this league, and a team like Arsenal, Lacazette, who a lot of their supporters were saying, "Oh, is he really all that?" He'd walk into our team. Let's not kid ourselves. Very disappointing second half by our lot. We're on the attack then now. Maybe that was our last chance. Noble, the ball at his feet, plays it wide left. Cresswell now slings the ball in, tries to, gets blocked, and Arsenal in possession. And now Arsenal take him there if you're going to take him. Yeah, good decision by Fredericks there, really. Probably deserves a booking for that because there was no real attempt to win the ball. He's going to get away with it, but should have done just enough to stop Arsenal tearing up the field there. But very, very poor from West Ham. Very disappointing in the second half, and sadly, any lingering hopes you may have had for a top four finish, well, they're gone now. Because if you want to finish in those top four, you've got to win every week, not draw at home to Arsenal when you're 3-0 up. Very, very poor indeed. And that's it, 3-3. We get a point, but my word, talk about 2 points dropped. It's a draw that feels like a defeat. It's as bad as that.
Yeah, that is the final whistle at the London Olympic Stadium. It has finished West Ham United 3, Arsenal 3. West Ham were in dreamland after half an hour. 3 goals to the good. And it looked like a certain 3 points were coming back to East London. But that's not how it turned out in the end. Arsenal coming back, grabbing one before the break and scoring twice in the second half to secure a point that they certainly wouldn't have expected to get at the 30-minute mark. Jesse Lingard opening the scoring after 15 minutes for West Ham with a wonderful effort from the edge of the box, curling one with the outside of the boot into the top corner of the net. And less than just over a minute and a half later, Jared Bowen doubling West Ham's advantage after Jesse Lingard showed a clever touch by taking a free kick early, passing it to Bowen, who beat Lino at his near post. It was 3-0 after 32 minutes when Souček registered to send Hammers into territory previously uncharted since 2007, 3 goals inside the opening 32 minutes of a game. But Souček was on target again on 38 minutes, unfortunately, at the other end when he got the final touch on a Lacazette shot that was going wide to deflect it inside the far post to send West Ham into the break 3-1 up. Lacazette lobbed Fabianski in the first minute. of the second half. Let's not forget the ball was going in before Issa Diop performed miracles to hook it off the line to ensure West Ham kept a 2-goal advantage. David Moyes didn't react, and Arsenal scored a second goal on the 61st minute. It was a Dawson own goal, the 5th goal scored in the game, and the 5th goal scored by a West Ham player. Dawson converting a low cross while trying to hook it over the bar, one would imagine. David Moyes did eventually react, bringing on Mark Noble for Jared Bowen, bringing on Fredericks for Ben Rama, who, once again, not doing a lot of defensive work, perhaps when it was needed. Moyes looking to shore up that defence. It was too little too late, because with 8 minutes of normal time to go, Lacazette headed home a deep cross from the left to save Arsenal, a point that, at one point they never really looked like getting. Pinky said it there. For West Ham, it feels like 2 points dropped. It really is. And the Hammers stay. If it's still 3 points ahead of Liverpool and 3 points ahead of Everton, who are 6th and 7th. But no, it's got to be 2 points dropped, that, hasn't it?
Yeah, I said at the part of the way through the first half, I think, I didn't want to see this game go the same way as the Leeds game, where we sat back and thought we'd done enough. That's exactly what happened. I said that not everybody would be as profligate as Leeds. Arsenal deserved the point because they came and went at us and did what we didn't. And very disappointing though to see us do that. You'd have thought a lesson would have been learned after the Leeds game. Clearly not. What can I say? It was, we didn't deserve anything more than we got out of the game. Simple as that. Pinky, I'm not making an excuse. I've moaned about the refereeing and it was poor, but if they hadn't scored from those, they'd have probably scored from something else because we didn't play well enough. It's simple as that.
Okay, good stuff. Wimbledon, 1998. West Bromwich Albion, 2003. West Brom again in 2011. Tottenham earlier this season. West Ham twice led 3-0 and twice trailed 3-0. It doesn't happen often, but it's happened again this afternoon for a 5th time in 23 years. Rio, the Hammers 3-0 up, throwing it away to draw 3-3 this afternoon.
Yeah, to be honest, we've only got ourselves to blame. I hate to say this. I mean, my dislike of the opposition today is well publicised. We played the opening half an hour like Brazil was circa 1982. Sadly, the remaining 60 minutes or so was like Adam Brazil 2022. It was absolutely shocking. Not helped by the officiating, but we did everything completely wrong. We forgot the basics of defending. A manager who's been absolutely exemplary this season with the tools at his disposal, let himself big time today because the areas of concern were quite clear from the offset. As soon as Arsenal got a foot in the game, our left-hand side was exposed massively. They attacked at will down the outside. Aaron Creswell, who was getting absolute pelters on the forum, was left cast adrift though. I mean, he didn't have the greatest game. I mean, I thought he had a great opening half an hour. But after that, he had no support from the man in front of him. No support from any of the midfield. At one stage, we had Mikel Antonio playing left back, right, in the attempt to kind of quell the attack after attack after attack from Arsenal down the outside. It was too little too late. The seeds have been sown, the momentum have been switched, and, we had a good laugh earlier in the season when we did it at Tottenham, 3-3. And I'd like to point out that when we go to the Man of Match Awards, it's not going to be any West Ham player who wins that. It's going to be yourself and my other two fellow moderators, because we've been so magnanimous in what isn't a defeat but feels like one. We've not overreacted. we've all been quite reasonable. We've all been incredibly diplomatic in our response today. You know, we can see the deficiencies in our side, the deficiencies in this performance. You know, I hate to say it, but all you Tottenham YouTube channels, this is how you react when you lose a 3-goal lead and you end up drawing 3-3. You don't start slamming things down. You don't start swearing at will. You know, you don't start reacting in the manner that you do. This is how to react. With a bit of dignity, a little bit of humour, a bit of realism. Learn from it, please.
Arthur Masuaku has been posting on Twitter a few minutes before Arsenal's third goal. He posted to say, "I'm going to turn off the TV," smiley face. And about 2 minutes ago, he's just posted another one to say, maybe I should have done. So good to see the players can still laugh. I suppose the players who are going to be coming back to take the place of those who are playing today, probably. Pinky, a couple of people have pointed out on social media and on the forum following the final whistle that West Ham looked fatigued today. It looked like a step too far for a very, very small squad that's been pushed all the way and been forced to play because there haven't been just simply not enough able replacements on the bench. Do you have some sympathy with that viewpoint, or are you more critical of the way David Moyes handled the second half? Or I suppose you can be critical of both, really.
Yeah, I do have some sympathy with the viewpoint, because I think, you know, I said when we looked at the team lineup at the start, you know, and you attempt to goad me into a comment on Ben Rama even before we'd kicked off. Yeah, talk about looking for an easy headline. I mean,
you spotted that.
but you know, I made the comment that, you know, basically, what other choice does the manager have? You know, I mean, Ben Rama's getting in the team, you know, because, well, you were next. You know, it's one of those. And I'm afraid we've paid a heavy price. You know, not just for Ben Rama today. I mean, personally, I think he could have been working a lot harder defensively, but so could one or two others, in fairness.
Yeah.
You know, we saw a few examples, you know, Diop clearing a ball off the line. Yeah. You know, we could have lost that game today easily. And, you know, it's the sort of match that could have been a 6 or 7-all draw. But the difference in terms of what Arsenal could bring off the bench and what David Moyes could, it really is chalk and cheese. I mean, David Moyes is bringing on, you know, Dad's Army and 33-year-old Mark Noble, good loyal servant and all that. He's bringing on Ryan Fredericks, who, if we're to believe what, you know, sort of the press was saying, we were willing to trade in January if we've got any offers, that kind of thing. I mean, the squad really is bare bones. But having said that, the manager got it wrong today, because we were 3-0 up. We're winning the game. We've got the points in the bag. And he didn't do what he knew he had to do. Yeah, which was shore us up at the back, because there were warning signs there despite us being 3-0 up. And he didn't do it. And I suspect he didn't do it because he's looking at his team going, if I start hooking players now, I'm getting into the territory of they'll stop running for me, because, you know, you start hooking players at half time, they don't like it. You know, these are professional footballers. And so the manager's caught there. He doesn't have too many options. Clearly he can see what's going on, because he's got the best part of 1,000 games as a manager under his belt. He's not a rookie. Yeah, he knows what's going on there. But we've waited for the first Arsenal goal to go in, the second Arsenal goal to go in, then the third Arsenal goal. Yeah, there's an inevitability about it, because we didn't make the changes early enough and didn't try to get the game's initiative back. So yeah, limited options off the bench, limited options to start with. I mean, he's playing players that you know, there's a stat right at the start. Declan Rice, that's his 100th out of 101 West Ham games where he's started. You know, and he's a young player that I suspect by the age of 27 will be burnt out. because he's playing every minute, every single week. And I'm afraid, you know, Mr. Sullivan, you gave all the money to Manu Pellegrini. You then had to tidy it all up again. And this is what you get. We were in 5th place. At 3-0 up, we're level with Chelsea. We're just goal difference separating us. We're putting the pressure on. We're keeping the pressure on. And the way that we've capitulated there, no one in that top 4 will fear West Ham coming past them now. No one at all. And what you've got, you'll have the Portuguese Pulis now saying to his players, do you know what, Tottenham Hotspur, we can catch that lot. Because look at them. We can, you know, what we've done today is we've given Tottenham Hotspur some hope. That's what we've done today. At 3-0, never mind a bad result for Arsenal, it was a disastrous result for Tottenham. It was a poor result for Everton. At 3-3, Everton and Tottenham now looking at going, they're gone. Their legs have gone. Yeah, they're out of puff. And all the old gags about taking us down, you know, with the Christmas tree lights and all that usual crap we've got to put up with. Here you go. And it's because the squad just isn't big enough. It's that simple.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. One player missing today from the lineup was Pablo Fornals, instrumental in West Ham's success so far this season. No, we felt he was a massive miss at Old Trafford last week. Do you think that West Ham would have let that game go had Fornals been available this afternoon?
I think he would have played instead of Ben Rama, and he does bring a lot of hard work to play. So yeah, I think it was a big miss. We've got an international break now, haven't we? So hopefully it'll be a little bit fitter for a couple of weeks' time. Yeah, we need this international break, and message to Lingard and Rice is to stay out of trouble. But you know, yeah, what Pinky said, we are bare bones. You know, we had to pick Ben Rama today. I'm still not convinced he's a starter when everyone's fit. Didn't really bring much in today, I'm afraid.
And what about what about Moisey? Gnome, did he get it wrong today?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly partly responsible. I think we needed to change things around in the second half a lot earlier than we did. Ben Rama I'd have brought off fairly early on in the second half, and I'd have. I can see the thinking behind Noble, and but yeah, that was delayed too long, and I think if we'd shored things up earlier, would have made it a lot more difficult for Arsenal.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, it's a situation that Moyes found himself in, that he'd been put in that position by the players.
Yeah.
3-0 up, and if we just carry on playing exactly the way that we had been playing, it would have been a case of, you know, maybe we would have had more. And you know, no changes needed at 3-0 up. Notwithstanding Pinky saying, right, we're 3-0 up, let's batten down the hatches. Yeah. You know, we keep going, get another fourth, either late first half, early second. The question about having to shore things up doesn't arise, but so the players have got to actually put their hands up to this, because you know they went 3-0 up and it was, yeah, we're done there, we're done now, 3-0 up, and second half was, you know, they were obviously going to come at us. So yeah, I think maybe changes might have been required at half time, but that Moyes was put in that position by the fact that players didn't continue to play as the way they've been playing.
Yeah, fair point. I mean, we should all, of course, perhaps point out that you know, we also hit the post, didn't we, in the second
Yeah.
half? The
We
cross
were,
from Ben Rama, which Antonio just couldn't wrap his foot around at 3-2. 78 minutes, 4 minutes later, Arsenal score. It's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
we could easily have nicked a fourth, and that would have killed the game off. But you know, we should not have been in that position.
Okay, good stuff. Pinky's nodding his head furiously at that one.
Yeah, I mean, our game management was dreadful. I'm sorry, I'm just not buying all this stuff of we hit the post, we could have got 4 and all the rest of it. Yeah. In the second half, Arsenal totally controlled the game. The fact that we had a couple of breakaways and could have got something, I would file that under good fortune rather than good intent. You know, the simple fact is they've just showed a couple of the Arsenal goals again. Yeah. And we're making Chambers look like he's the world's greatest fullback. The fact that he's suddenly managed to get forward and put a couple of crosses in. You know, there's not a West Ham United player within 15 yards of him for 2 of them.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sorry, I'm just not accepting this. Well, we could have got 4 or 5 and all the rest of it. Yeah. You know, how about recognising we've conceded 3 goals at home?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, Pinky. You know, the point was we went the 3 up and then we just sat back on it and put our feet up, and it was, well, we're done now, aren't we? And, you know, we might be having a different conversation if Antonio was 3 inches taller, for example. But that would have, as you say, would have glossed over the fact that, you know, we actually, as you say, the game management, you know, 3-0 up, you know, and you're actually sort of going, attacking wave after wave of attack, and we're looking like scoring, you know, just about every time we get on the front foot at them. Let's keep going.
Yeah, but here's the
first half. That's what I'm saying. The first half. The fact was, we sat back with quarter of an hour to go in the first half, put our feet up, and we didn't get that momentum back. That's got to be down to the players.
Yeah, and the manager's going to go into the chairman's office.
Yeah.
And say, look, the squad just isn't big enough. And the chairman's going to sit there, laugh his head off and go, you were 3-0 up after half an hour.
Yeah.
You know, you would put yourself in a winning position. The team would put themselves in a winning position. Yeah. And you failed to take all 3 points. That's a catastrophic second half by West Ham in terms of game management. And I'm sorry, even if you haven't got the personnel to make changes in players, change the shape, change the system, do something.
Yeah.
But when you've got Chambers looking like, I don't know, Cafu or whoever, all of a sudden, it's please stop it now. Just stop it. And I don't care if that's getting a little old granny out the stands and putting it in. Just stand there, love. Just stand there and mark some space. Fill some space, but have someone within 15 yards of Chambers when he's putting cross after cross into our box, because, you stop the cross, you stop the goal. It's that simple. These are the basics of football. And we could all see it. We're sitting here chatting about it, 4 middle-aged blokes sitting here going, got a lot of space down that flank,
Yeah,
a lot of space. And we pay the price, and I'm not too happy.
No.
Are you waving shut up, Pinky, or was that you waving goodbye, Rio?
No, I'm taking the offence to the middle-aged bit.
Fair dues.
Whereas I'm being flattered by it. So
Rio, let's come to you on that one, young man. David Moyes, he was criticised hugely after the defeat at Old Trafford last week. I suspect when we have a look at the forums very shortly, he's going to be getting an absolute coating once again this afternoon. What do you make of it this afternoon? Pinky and Gnome have just said it there. We were saying from half time, we've got to make changes soon because the left side is so heavily exposed. Everything that was coming down that side didn't happen. The goals came. It was all so predictable. Moyes at fault here?
Yeah, I think he is. As we've all pointed out, we can see it from here that our left-hand side had absolutely no protection whatsoever. One of our 4 members pointed out that we've made Callum Chambers look like Danny Alves today. Whereas I think we've defended like Daniel LaRue at times as well, because I keep harking back to it. All the basics we did completely wrong. And despite the lack of options that we've got available to us, the manager and his coaching staff have really got to address that. They've got to witness that from the side. They've got to see what we're seeing and take action, you know. I'm not one normally for making changes. When you're in the ascendancy and we've played as well as we did for that first 30, 35 minutes, making more defensive substitutions can be seen as a negative.
Yeah.
I know hindsight's a marvellous thing, but had we done that 20 minutes earlier, we'd probably be sitting here on the back of 3 points saying, job done. Wasn't the prettiest of last hours, but we've done it. You know, and in the situation we're in, with limited finances, limited squad numbers, but on the cusp of, and we're still on the cusp of Champions League football. Those 2 points that we could have eked out today would have been absolutely crucial, you know. And when we do get things right, when we do go for it and we attack with verve and we attack with intent, we're absolutely majestic. I mean, that for opening 30 minutes was a joy to behold.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if we're going to be critical of Moyes, let's be fair here. I mean, he sent out a side that was pretty well revved up for that particular game, and there we were, 3-0 up after 30 minutes. So, you know, credit where it's due there.
Absolutely, but I think as Gnome pointed out, we seem to get in that mindset when we got a lead of some kind of substance, and against a team of, I mean, I'm not going to say they're a great team, Arsenal. Their attacking options are a joy to behold. But they're nowhere near the vintage Arsenal of the 90s, early 2000s, you know? They're a patch of their former selves. We seem to have this kind of Indian sign over us when we play teams of stature. I think that's the only way to describe it, because they're not great sides. But we seem to go into our shell. You know, we seem to think, as Gnome pointed out, job done, let's shore up shop and walk away with the 3 points. You can't do that. You have to maintain that kind of standards that you set out with. You have to keep asking the questions. You have to push in and probing. We're not doing that. We got this this kind of attitude about us that maybe we don't deserve to be here when the table doesn't lie. We do deserve to be here, you know? We do deserve to be picking away and winning games like this. And if we'd have taken the mentality that we had done for that opening 30 minutes against the bigger sides all season, we could be on the cusp of greatness. We could be, dare I say it, in the same realm with the boys of 86. No? It's all ifs and buts, but that's what football is, isn't it?
Very much so. Very much so. Thank you, gentlemen. I think Gnome is listening to Arteta. Would I be right? Gnome? Yeah. So we'll come back to you in just a minute. Okay.
Well, with interest.
Okay. Do you want to run through that quickly? What he said to say?
Yeah. He's gone on about how the first half for them was unacceptable, and if you play like that, you're going to have to score 6 goals a game to get a win. Aubameyang, he hooked because he wasn't having any influence on play, and he changed what he had to change. So I'm just waiting for the interviewer to catch up on the subtitles. Apparently, Jamie was so Jamie Carragher described Chambers as Cafu-like. Well, that says everything you need to know about Jamie Carragher, I think. You know,
obviously he's listening to me. Yeah. Was it not just 5 minutes ago I said that Chambers was look like Cafu?
Arteta didn't really have much to say there. Just so I just laughing. There was a comment in the Sunday Times today about sports commentators. Where do they go when the game isn't on? And he says, obviously, we know about some of them. We know that Jamie Carragher likes to go for a drive and spit at little girls, for example. That was quite good, wasn't it? But anyway,
Okay, well, we'll see if I would imagine Moyes will be out very soon. I'm sure that'll be the more interesting of the two managerial interviews post-match. But before we do get that from Moisey, let me just ask you, Pinky, 1 point versus Arsenal this season, 1 versus Manchester City, none versus Chelsea so far, none versus Manchester United. Is that why West Ham aren't going to qualify for the Champions League this season?
Well, that and the result against Newcastle on the opening day, yeah. You know, the way to move up the league table is to beat the teams above you. You know, and in particular if they're in close proximity. So yeah, those teams we should be trying to get something from. But if you take the season overall, look, if we finish 5th or 6th, that's a good season for West Ham United. So let's not, you know, say we've suddenly gone with a crisis or anything like that. We've seen us play today. We've scored 3 decent goals, could have had 4 or 5. But equally, we've conceded 3 soft goals, and it could have been 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So some, you know, there's something not right somewhere. Whether it's the balance of the squad, the manager's tactics, the on-field leadership in terms of this is how, you know, this is what we need to do, boys. You know, put another way, would the Arsenal invincible side at 3-0 up have dropped 2 points? No, they just wouldn't do it. Would the Liverpool team of last season have done it? No, they wouldn't. Yeah, could you see Man City doing it? No, you wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And for us to have done it today is hugely disappointing.
Yeah.
But the teams you mentioned, they're all going to finish above us by and large because they've got bigger squads and more money. You know, and whilst I've been very critical of David Moyes today in terms of what he could, and in my opinion, should have done today, to give it a bit of balance, I would say he's still in contention for manager of the season in the sense of we are punching miles above our weight. If you look at the season overall, we are probably a good half a dozen places further up the table than our squad probably merits. So there's a lot of positives for the season overall, but I can't accept this. We gave it a go, plucky lads, all the rest of it, you know, cheeky chappies.
Yep.
I hate all that. We were 3-0 up today. Mm-hmm. Just win the game. How hard is that to do? Shore it up at the back, hang on to the ball, kill the game, stop Arsenal getting any momentum in the match, stop them getting a foothold.
Yep.
That's the job. That was the job for nearly an hour today, and we didn't do it. And frankly, I'm not really interested in the fact we hit the post and we could have done this, we could have done that. It's what we didn't do that troubles me. We didn't manage the game properly today. And as much as I'm critical of David Sullivan and the fact that he's given David Moyes a wafer-thin squad, it does come down to 11 against 11 at the end of the day. And our lads, when they're sitting there watching other teams playing in the Champions League next season, it's going to hurt. Or maybe they'll learn something. Maybe they'll learn not to ball watch. Maybe they can see that Aaron Cresswell is getting battered on his flank all afternoon and he needs some help. Maybe they'll just pay attention to that salient point and say, do you know what? You know, could I have done a bit more? Can say Ben Rama, when he's sitting there in his home tonight thinking, did I do absolutely everything I could have today? Because if he does ask himself that question, he knows the answer. And he didn't do enough. And when we as supporters are all slagging off the chairman when he's selling Declan Rice in due course, yeah, well, there you go. Declan could have been playing Champions League football West Ham United next year. But he's not going to be now. That much I'm absolutely sure of.
Yeah, of course, West Ham have got some tricky games coming up, and we've had a very tricky little spell. Man City, Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham, 4 of our last 5 games, and then we go to Wolves in a couple of weeks' time. Then it's Leicester at home, Newcastle. You would hope that would be one we can take 3 points from. Then it's Chelsea again before we have, end the season with, a reasonable run of fixtures that you'd expect us to pick up points from. I think Gnome's just been listening to Jesse Lingard on the TV. Looked very disappointed from what I could see. Obviously, I've got the sound muted. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but Gnome, was that a pretty fair summary?
Because we've got David Moyes now.
We'll do. I'll tell you what we'll do. Well, while we're doing that, we'll dip into the forums and we'll take a look and see what the Hammers and Arsenal fans are saying. Before we do that, get yourselves prepared, Pinky and Rio. I'll just go through the match stats because we haven't done those yet. Possession: West Ham 37% to Arsenal's 63%. What a huge turnaround. Bearing in mind, West Ham had 74% after 10-11 minutes. Shots: West Ham 15, 5 on target. Arsenal 16, 7 on target. 3 corners for West Ham, 5 for Arsenal. The XG, expected goal stat for the game: West Ham 2.18, Arsenal 1.7. So, there's some match stats for you. We are going to begin by going to... where should we go first? Let's have a look at the KUMB.com forum first and see what the West Ham fans are saying in the wake of that rather disappointing second half. Rio, who's bearing the brunt of it at the moment?
Before I do, can I just point out that Manchester United have done a little bit of comedy defending, and Leicester lead 1-0 in the FA Cup quarter-final. It's one to behold. So everyone's set there recording the match of the day for tonight. Love a little bit of slapstick defending. It's quality. Yeah, going on to the forum. As you can imagine, there's not a lot of positivity in the air. There's not a lot of constructive debate at the moment, but I'm trying to pick out the more salient points that people have made in a positive and more forthright manner. Billy Bond's boots. Chambers had a 3-round rain down our left-hand side all game, and Cresswell was left with a 2-on-1 all the time. Benny is great coming forward, but doesn't track back. And we always seem to make the pitch bigger, allowing teams too much width. And when teams come at us, we back right off. We seem very tired around the 70-minute mark at every single opportunity. Yet Arsenal, who played Thursday, didn't. Why did the ref allow Lingard to play on when we have advantage? And how come we never won a game beyond me? Going to be hard to see where we go from here. Points are going to be at a premium, but this one feels like a loss. E17. Moyes and we remain brutally limited in terms of changes due to the owners and lack of players. Antonio's the only striker we have, and when Cresswell gets done down the left, he probably gets done. It's a repeat at the end of 2015 and 2016 season. Mm-hmm. Left back and centre forwards cost money, but we desperately need them. Wayne Spin. Noble came on because Lacazette was dropping off, and every time a centre back went with him, they put a ball into the hole for someone to run onto. We need Arthur Masuaku bad in the second half to try and stem the crosses coming from near fullback. I thought we'd bring Johnson on to help. Strange thing is that we never got that bit of luck against Arsenal. Today, 2 own goals, 50-50 calls not going for us. And to be fair, we normally lose games like this. So I'm looking at that as a positive. INZ79. Cresswell spent far too much time inside and forcing the players in front of him to take on defensive responsibility of the runners, which I can't necessarily agree with, but I think it's more of a team effort while I'm just singling out one player. Aberdeen, absolutely hammered. We miss Fornells and Oki so much today. We miss their composure. Our squad depth is starting to show each week, methinks. A cracking season, but win that and Europe is realistic. I think that result today might have damaged us a lot more here. And that's something I was going to pick up on. Mentally, how does this squad bounce back after that? We was on the cusp of a cracking win against a team of calibre, and yet it's going to seem like a defeat. We've normally bounced back incredibly well when we've lost this season. This one, you just don't know, do you? The squad this part into European games you're not going to see the likes of Declan Rice getting a bit of rest. You're not going to see Sufal and Souček get rest either, because all of them have got 3 games each for their country. You know, we need players to recharge their batteries, but because they're decent players and at the top of their game normally this season and representing their countries, we're going to suffer, I think. And a lack of depth in the squad is really going to hit hard. So there's something to really kind of keep an eye out as well. Just a couple more things from the forum. Diogenes has put, come on, guys and girls, let's keep things in perspective. It was a cracking game we deserved to win. We scored 5 goals and we hit the post. The referee erroneously called back play when we were 2-on-1. Then he gave us a free kick against Bowen that no one explained, from which they scored. Sure, we can pick holes here and there, but with a small squad and lack of quality in depth, I'm disappointed, but a million times much better than the last week. Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of flack going around. Moyes is taking a lot of stick. Aaron Quelsell's taking a lot of stick. But a lot of players are, even Craig Dawson as well at the moment, which is probably the first we've seen since he's joined us. A lot of fingers being pointed, but yeah, come on, let's look at the bigger picture. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't great, you know. But look at that first half hour. Look at what we can achieve. We just need a stronger mentality, and dare I say it, we need our manager to probably have a little bit of a break and all, and recharge his batteries and rethink what his approach to certain games, not just the squad itself.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess David Moyes has got a couple of weeks in which to do that, given that the international break is coming up. But it certainly looked like a lot of those West Ham players had, you know, it was a game too far for some of them in the second half. The likes of Declan Rice, who we saw the other day, is played more minutes than pretty much anyone else in the Premier League so far this season, if you take into account his England appearances. Souček, players like that, you know, not getting a rest. It's been tough. Antonio, of course, been suffering with injury problems. The only forward we've got left at the club. So yeah, you know, I guess it's difficult. It's tough, isn't it? You really, when you're 3-0 up, you should win a game. There's no question about it. But it's, you know, you've got to kind of temper that, I guess, with the fact that, as Pinky pointed out a few minutes ago, this is an excellent season West Ham are having, a really good season. And I guess it's a measure of just how good a season we're having that we're also disappointed at failing to beat Arsenal. You know, we did roar into a 3-goal lead. You're always going to be disappointed, as we said earlier. It doesn't happen that often, though. Incidentally, it's the 3rd time in the Premier League this season that someone has led 3-0 and failed to win. We, of course, remember one of them. We were the beneficiaries at Tottenham in October, I think it was. The other one being West Brom and Chelsea, finished 3-3 at the Hawthorns. But anyway, let's have a quick look at the Arsenal forum before we come back to Gnome to hear what Jesse Lingard had to say. Arsenal Mania is the forum we've been looking at. Pinky, I'm guessing they're, as in the words of Dubstar, not so manic now.
I think it's fair to say it's a thread of 2 halves on their website. But there's an interesting one here from a poster known as Arteta Out. And he's going, West Ham destroyed themselves right there, sitting back like wusses and inviting pressure. Bunch of disgraceful slackers. 2 own goals, WTF. I swear Arteta can win the lottery every time he tries. And I think it's fair to say that if I was Mr. Arteta, I would go and buy a couple of lottery tickets, because Tuesday night is not far away. And who knows, he might need the money soon. Because there's an awful lot of Arsenal supporters on here saying, you know what, you know, his time is up. There's another, our season summed up in one match. You know, Odegaard is a very good player. The second half, he was all over West Ham. Partey was good picking up passing from deep. And, you know, Lacazette, man of the match, was this guy's, who was that? Yusuf Arsenal. You know, Aubameyang can clear off now. He's going to turn up with this sort of performance week in, week out. So he's getting a bit of a stick. You know, clearly they felt that Odegaard was their man of the match today, and Thomas Partey picking up probably the second spot. But here we go. Arteta messed up badly today, but the comeback was thrilling. We need this kind of intensity attacking more often. So the first half they were absolutely giving their team pelters, and you can understand that 3-0 down. And I think somewhere between the two forums, you'll have a first half on KUMB that'll be "We are brilliant," and a second half, I suspect, "We are not quite that brilliant," and it's the same on this one. It is, they were poor in the first half and not quite as poor in the second half. And there's a little comment here from a guy called Rio. Need that West Ham fan TV meltdown as the mighty Arsenal come back from 3 down to end their own chance of getting Champions League. Yeah, nice try. Really ain't getting it.
Not happening, gentlemen. Not happening at all. Well, not on this channel anyway. Thank you, gentlemen. Pinky keeping an eye on Arsenal Mania for us this afternoon. Rio bringing us the thoughts of our fellow West Ham fans from the KUMB.com forum match thread in the general discussion forum. Pop on over there after the stream has ended, or even go and do it at the same time. And let us know your thoughts if you haven't already done so on the forum or even here on the live chat. Gnome has been waiting patiently and been listening to Jesse Lingard and David Moyes, I think, to hear what they've had. I know what's the verdict.
Yeah, so long ago I forgot what Lingard said. He was very disappointed. We dropped off a level, he said, but we still had chances, and we don't convert the chances. But yeah, we're devastated that we've only come over the point after that. Moyes, a little bit more interesting. Tough game, lots of goals. We played very well, especially in the first half an hour. But unfortunately, we gave away a goal before half-time, which gave them the foot up. Now, I won't say exactly what he said just yet. I'll put it into context, because just out of context, it looks like he's whining, and he's not at this point. So he was asked, he was kind of, the interviewer was trying to goad him into complaining about the refereeing. So the quote, so just taken out of context, it just sounds like he's moaning, but it wasn't. But he said, asked about the refereeing, and he was asked about the specific incident where Bowen was fouled in the build-up to go, and then also the incident where Lingard was clear through. Yeah, and he said, well, he said, well, we had a lot of frustration throughout the game at decisions, that some of the decisions that were going, but that's the way football goes sometimes. So thought I'd put that in the context, because you just read out that comment, it looks like you're having a whinge, and he wasn't. We played very well for long periods, but they're in good form. And he said it's not a good result after going 3-0 up, but we showed we're up there competing with the best teams. It's been a long time since we actually finished above Arsenal, and we've done our best to make sure they can't catch us. Now we want more. I'm greedy, and they're devastated in the dressing room at not taking the 3 points. There you go.
Okay, well, I guess that's good to hear, isn't it? That so they're not sitting around moping. That is the case. But we're gonna end this one fairly soon, this stream. So before we do that, one thing we haven't touched upon, gentlemen, is our Man of the Match awards for this afternoon. So Gnome, I shall start with you. Who did? It's going to be difficult to think of someone who really played well over 90 minutes, isn't it? I think we might have to judge this on half time alone.
I'm struggling. I mean, Lingard particularly was impressive first half. Second half, who'd you say? I'll go for Declan just for that run, but we collectively turned off, and it's difficult. But I'll go for Declan because that run cheered me up a bit.
Okay, good stuff. One for Rice. Rio, how about you?
Can I not stick to my my full-time decision and nominate you three? Or is that cheating?
Sorry, what was that? I missed that.
Because can I not stick to my decision and nominate you three? Because the way we've reacted to our actual capitulation today.
Okay.
Sorry, if we're going to go for an actual player. No, for an actual player.
One for the kids there.
We're not exactly sport for choice, are we? I'd like to say Issa because he wasn't culpable for any of the goals, and that goal line clearance was quality. Everyone else was pretty shocking. Jesse had a great first half. You could also nominate Craig Dawson because his goal scoring form is just unreal. Isn't it? He's electric at the moment. But yeah, if we're going to actually nominate a player, we ain't going to be Declan because we're fed up with giving Declan, and he's back in the international shop window. Let's not bump him up. So it's a Diop for me.
I'm trying to think of the last time. Maybe it's never happened before where a player has scored 2 own goals in 2 consecutive matches. I'm sure it has before, but I can't remember a West Ham player doing that. If anyone does, then please, of course, let us know. Yeah.
I know Frank Sinclair did it with Chelsea quite a while ago because he scored a second one against us, didn't he? Or for us, sorry.
Yeah.
Did he? I can't remember that.
Met an absolute standing ovation in the Bobby Mooring because, again, he was on fire for that period of time. And everyone hates a Chelsea player.
Manchester United have equalised at Leicester, by the way, in the last FA Cup quarter-final. Binky, 1 for Declan, 1 for us 3. Who are you going for as your man in the match?
No, I'm not. No, sorry. No, none of them are getting it. I'm not going to full Tottenham supporter here, but I'm really disappointed today. Really disappointed. So no man of the match, and I'll never, ever, ever will I accept that conceding 3 goals when you're 3 up is acceptable. If there were 3 worldy goals, if they were 3 shots from 35 yards that no keeper in the world saving, if we'd been reduced to 9 men and they had the freedom of the park, those circumstances you can say, conceding 3 goals. But I don't care how tired they are. I don't care how many games they've played. They didn't do enough today. And, for a number of those players, finishing 4th or even 5th will be as high up the league system as they will ever finish. And I'm not convinced collectively they wanted it enough today. So no man in the match for me. Not an acceptable performance. And, we could have scored 6. I don't care. We didn't. We conceded 3. There you go.
Okay. No man of the match from Pinky. Actually, it's not uncommon after the match for people not to nominate a winner, because I did put a message out about 20 minutes ago on the YouTube chat asking for people's nominations, and I think we've had 1, 2, 3 responses so far. Xander and Mark English going for Lingard, and Hobo going for Diop just for that clearance alone. So I'm struggling. I've got to admit, I'm struggling to think of one, but I'm going to give one. I'm not going to be that mean as Pinky and not give the accolade to someone, but God knows who I'm going to give it to.
Draw a name out of a hat.
I don't know. I really don't know. Thomas Souček. I'll give it to Thomas Souček because he scored a goal, and even though he scored an own goal, he was, he'd made that run back to clutching at straws. So really clutching at straws to think of someone. I think we thought he stood out really in the first half and was instrumental in getting us to a 3-0 advantage. And I don't think we can blame him for any of the 3 goals or his work rate. So I'm going to give it to Souček just because I had to give it to someone. So there you go. That's just about it for us on the stream this afternoon. We have a 2-week break now, an international break. Declan Rice, Jesse Lingard, 2 hammers in the England squad for the first time in a while. No Michail Antonio, though, because he hasn't been selected. Could have been 3. Southgate clearly still hasn't got the memo about needing 3 West Ham players in the squad to win anything. Although looking at the opposition England are going to be facing in the next couple of weeks, I reckon 3 out of the 4 of us could probably get a call up to the England squad and, we'd still take maximum points. Anyway, that's all to come soon. For West Ham, our next game is 2 weeks from now Is it 2 weeks today?
2 weeks tomorrow. Wolves.
Monday. It's a Monday night fixture. Of course, we go to Molineux, the scene of the pie flinging incident a few years ago, where a Wolves fan was banned for 3 years from Molineux, taken to court after throwing a steaming hot pie at a West Ham supporter. Turns out it was a female supporter as well who threw the pie. Claimed she dropped it. No, they didn't believe her
Some
either.
form of food critic, yeah.
But anyway, it's
I was down on my luck.
Pies at football grounds tend to be only consumed when you need to soak up some alcohol. So,
So sorry, Pinky, what was that? You were...
As I say, I mean, talk about how's your luck. Someone chucks a pie at me at a game of football, I normally catch it. I mean,
without using your hands.
Steady.
The radar goes. The radar goes. Yes, can't beat a good pie at football. And that guy certainly couldn't have beat it that day. Wolves, no. West Ham Wolves, we smashed them off the park when we played them in Stratford earlier this year. I've got a feeling it's not going to be quite as easy as that, but we're sort of having the kind of season they had last year, aren't we, in a way? So what do you make of this fixture?
I'll take a guarded, optimistic view at the moment. I just want to make sure everybody's back from the international break fit and well. Quite apart from Lingard and Rice, we have the two Czech lads will be away, won't they? And which is so that's 4 key players we've got with what 2 is it 3 internationals we've got coming up.
Yeah, 2 or 3. Fabianski as well, although he's likely to be on the bench, of course.
Yeah, with opportunities. Though with 3 internationals, you might, there may be a bit of rotation with Fabianski, but so that's 3 opportunities for nasty niggly injuries to be picked up. Wolves have kind of, having had the season they had last year, they've kind of gone off the boil a little bit. And I haven't researched how they've been lately because I've got 2 weeks to do that. But I'd be cautiously optimistic about going up there and getting something. On the goal scoring front, they've lacked a bit since what's the lad's name? Is it Jimenez who broke his skull? Help me out here, lads. The guy broke his skull.
I couldn't tell you.
Huh? Sorry, where?
Patricio, the keeper, wasn't it?
No.
Patricio?
No. He got injured in midweek.
Oh,
striker.
Yeah, Jimenez. Yeah, Raul Jimenez.
Yeah. That seemed to, I mean, they weren't having the greatest seasons. I mean, they're well out of danger, but not threatening much else, sort of thing. But that seemed to knock a lot of the stuffing out of them from an attacking point of view. So I'd be hopeful we can go up there and get 3, but let's see what we've got available to us after the break. We've got the potential for a bit more depth to be in the squad after the break. As you said, Yarmolenko and Masuaku both played for the development squad, or whatever they're called, the under 23s, and so they look as if they might be sort of getting there with a view to being at least on the bench. So Masuaku would be particularly a welcome return, given how well both we and him were playing before he got his injury. The fact that we've managed to carry on the form without him is ignoring games, in particular games, but the fact that we're still up in sort of 5th place, with him having missed so much of the season, when he was instrumental in getting our season kick-started in that position, is quite a testament to the overall season that we've had, notwithstanding today.
Yeah.
So everybody fit, players coming back. I'd be optimistic for that.
Okay, good stuff. Pinky Wolves 7th in the Premier League last season, finished level on points with Spurs, 6th place. Had a really, really good season. Totally gone off the ball this year. 13th, still haven't hit the 40-point mark. If we have serious European aspirations, let's drop the Champions League for a moment. This is a game you expect West Ham will have to go and win. Do you see that happening?
Yes and yes. I'll park with disappointment today and focus on the positive and say we had enough firepower to get 3 goals. You could see the threat Souček was in the opening 20 minutes today against Arsenal, and he could be just as effective against Wolverhampton Wanderers. So, but there's a sting in the tail, and the sting being the reason why Wolves are having such a shocking season. You know, our players are tired. Well, have a look at the workload of Wolves players for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, that I would imagine they've played more games than almost any other group of players, because they went through a torturous sort of qualification process for a season of European football. They've been at it, you know, non-stop, pretty much, and they've just run out of puff. They've run out of puff. I think their managers probably run out of a few ideas. They all need this season to end so they can recharge their batteries. So as long as our manager can get the message across to our players, right, the international break, treat it as a 2 weeks holiday, basically. Come back fully recharged and we go again, then I think we've still got a chance of finishing 5th or 6th this season. And to do that, yeah, we've got to beat Wolves. I think we will. And, you know, I'm a bit disappointed because I'm assuming it's an evening kickoff away at Molineux. You know,
Monday night, yeah.
Yeah,
Monday night, 8:15.
Yeah, but, you know, a decent ground, proper football club, and a cracking little chip shop just, you know, 100 yards away from Molineux that we tend to call in at. And so, yeah, disappointed not to be there on the night, but I think we'll have enough to see off Wolves. They really have run out of legs. And, you know, all the time we're feeling sorry for ourselves with a wafer-thin squad and all the rest of it. Try doing it when you've been playing non-stop for 2 full years. And that's what Wolves have been doing.
Thank you. Am I right in saying, you might have done more research than me on this, but they've used, maybe not up to this season, but until recently, they'd used fewer players than anybody else. I think last season they had a very sort of tight squad, didn't they?
Yeah, and what you tend to find with teams that do quite well are the teams that have the fewest injuries and use the fewest players, right up to the point when they start picking up the injuries. That's when clubs tend to fall apart. So, you know, they're almost like ourselves, having a decent first 11, but then not much else.
Yeah.
And I think the success of Wolves in the last couple of years has been they've had a very good first 11. The problem is not much else, and the players are just running to the ground. And I think the sting for us, we go to the Europa League. Can you imagine us automatic qualification for straight into the full Europa League with what? How many games more each season does that potentially bring? A dozen, 15, something like that?
I think it was in excess of 20, wasn't it, when Fulham got to the final? Didn't they play something like 28 games or something crazy like that?
So,
did they come right through from the sort of summer qualification, though?
Yeah, I think they did. But it was almost like another season. It was immense.
Yeah. I mean,
potentially 20 odd. Realistically, 2, because we always get knocked out.
Well, that's true.
I'd love the opportunity to go back to the National Stadium in Malta. I had a whale of a time while I was out there last time. So
yeah, but we supporters, you know, we would. Can you imagine David Moyes turning up and ringing the doorbell at Sully's Empire? You know, and he's shown into the waiting room or whatever it is. He goes in to see the chairman, and it's here's my list of 15 players we're going to need to sign to compete. in that league.
I can imagine us signing a load of players on loan just to get us through the qualification. Do you remember, was it the Intertoto when Tottenham entered it one season when it was July and they signed Alan Pardew on loan? They were signing players from Crystal Palace just to get them through, just to get themselves knocked out of it because they didn't want to go any further.
Yeah.
So,
but this is it, and that's why I almost said defeat. Today's drop points is so damaging.
Yeah.
Because the money you get in the Champions League, even if you don't get through the first qualifying round, is enormous money compared with what you get for the Europa League. Yeah, and that's a really expensive third goal we conceded today. Yeah, could be. I mean, we probably weren't going to catch Chelsea anyway. Tuchel's got them firing on all cylinders, and they don't concede goals. But it would have nice to have been pushing them maybe till 3-4 games from the end of the season. I think now they'll look at it and say, "No, we're gone. Europa at best for us," and I fear for us next season in the Premier League because I want to be clear. I want to be in Europe. I'm not sure the chairman does, and you can just imagine it traipsing around every relegated club for every player that's been released, and just going, "Well, here's a fullback, David. What's wrong with him?" I mean, Fulham, they only had a goal difference of -30. What about this lad from Sheffield United? And all the rest of it. Baldock, we had his brother here for a while. What's wrong with him? Yeah, you can just imagine the conversation, can't you?
You can.
I'm just thinking, if he was complaining about the cost of being drawn away at Everton, including travel, what's he going to think about getting drawn away to, I don't know, Spartak, Kazakhstan or something?
Or even, Paris. Doesn't he know how much hotels in Paris cost? We'd be the only team that would stay out at the Euro Disney. Yeah, stay in one of the hotels out there. And all.
What it'll be doing is it'll be saying, "Can we play you in Budapest?" And they'll say, "What, COVID?" And I said, "No, it's just a lot closer."
Yeah,
we can get a Ryanair to there.
Well, let's hope it comes to fruition anyway, because there's still, of course, a long way to go. Still another 8 or 9 games to go. This 8 games, isn't it? Now we've got left 9 games, 8 games, 9 games still to go in the season. So lots of points still up for grabs. We're going to finish tonight with Rio, Wolverhampton Wanderers, gold shirts, Andy Gray, that bloody tunnel, the car park on the hill, that hill they used to have behind the goal, the grassy knoll behind the goal. 3 points for West Ham, do you reckon?
Let's be honest, right? Youthful exuberance and blinded optimism didn't do me much good today, did it? It almost worked. Then West Ham remembered that there was West Ham, a whole one division thing kicked in, and they remembered to revert the type and cave in. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 defeat, purely because I've not got a personally great record at Wolves. I know I'm not going there this season again, but my first ever trip, my mate parked on the wrong side of the South Bank, that horrible grassy, enormous mountain they had. So we lost 1-0, Steve Ball scored, and we had a very uncomfortable walk around the ground to get back to the car. Even at one of my most memorable visits, when in the FA Cup game, we won 3-1.
Yeah.
Brilliant performance. Tarnished by the fact that I got stopped and searched twice in the same day because, obviously, being 5'4" and built like, well, whatever you want to call me. I've been called a few names in the past. I was the prime candidate for being a thug. So the Wolverhampton, the West Midlands Police, God bless them, because we all know they're the pride of the police force in Great Britain.
Lovely bunch.
Saw fit to search me rigorously as I went into the ground. I had 3 people surround me and question me. On the way out of the ground, back to the car, I had 4 coppers come around and surround me and search me. So even my finest moment at Molineux, he had a little bit of a tarnished reputation. So that place is just full of bad memories for me, really. So Yeah, we're going to lose, aren't we? We're going to lose.
Well, on that rather optimistic note, we'll call it a day, I think. But it's been a bit like that today, isn't it? West Ham against Arsenal. West Ham scored 5 goals. Arsenal only scored 1. Unfortunately, 2 of ours were in the wrong net, and it finished 3. Oh, West Ham throwing away 2 points. Oh, we did it to Spurs, and now the bloody Arsenal have done it to us. Can only think how poor Romford's feeling right now. But anyway, it's a 2-week break for us. We shall be back in a couple of weeks' time on Monday night, 2 weeks hence, for that trip to Molineux, Wolverhampton Wanderers versus West Ham United. And hope that the Hammers can get back to winning ways once again then and recharge our bid for Europe next season. That is it from us tonight. My thanks to the team, to the Pink Palermo, to Rio, and to Gnome. I'm off for a roast dinner. Something good's come out of this at last. Pinky looks like he's off to kick the cat down the street. And that's about it. So until next time, come on, you irons. No more? No more come on, you irons tonight?
I'm bereft of anything. I'm done.
I always say good night.
Is in hiding. Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Good night, folks.
And
See you soon.
the chicken wire was over the TV.
Good night, John Boy.
Come on, you rip-rolling goal-scoring amateurs.
Ah, you irons! Night all.